These guys are Warlord game players and they get wiped out like trash by the Thunder Queen, Suri, and her men. Just as she orders their execution, the real Chad Hurkin appears. He cuts the executioner down with a single strike, saving his friends from certain death. Suri's soldiers charge at him all at once, but Hurkin defeats them all too. His party members apologize saying their carelessness allowed the ambush, but Hurkin tells them it isn't their fault. The real problem, he says, is this thug lady. She's weak and always falls behind because she has no real skill. He taps his watch and his shining armor forms around him in an instant. Seeing this, Suri orders her remaining followers to kill him. Her kingest laughs. He's already taken down most of her soldiers and she has no chance left. But then one of his own party members suddenly stabs him in the back. The so-called friends he just saved turn out to be sneaky traitors. A system warning flashes telling him his HP is dropping fast. Our hero collapses and his party members apologize for betraying him. The lady mocks him, saying he is foolish for trusting his companions so much. She explains that she offered them money and they immediately agreed to turn against him. The hero comments that he will wipe her out of the game, but she laughs and says that if she kills him every time he logs in, he'll never make progress. She mentions that since he plays Warlord full-time and has nothing else in his life, it's a shame he is back to being trash. The hero tries to stand and rush at her, but his own party members again stab multiple blades into his body. He asks them why they have done this bad to him, reminding them of everything he has done for their guild. But the guys tell him that the lady has offered the millions just to kill him. That's why they have betrayed him. Hearing this, the hero feels crushed as his own teammates have turned against him just for some money. Suddenly the system flashes a warning that he has died in the game and cannot log in for 48 hours. At that moment, he wakes up inside the VR machine where he was playing Warlord. He feels angry as he realizes he has lost everything he worked for. Actually, Warlord is a global sensation, an AI-driven virtual reality game that earns unimaginable amounts of money. It was the only place where our hero truly excelled. He thinks back to his early days in the game, back when he first killed monsters. At that moment, the same guy who betrayed him had invited him to join their guild. Remembering all of that, the hero heads out to find those people and take revenge on them in the real world. Running through the streets, he tries to call someone. He thinks that if he had known things would end like this, he would never have cared about anyone from the beginning. As he is busy in this all, a garbage truck suddenly hits him. He gets some serious injuries from this. Even in pain, he remembers the betrayal of those thugs and swears to take revenge on them no matter what. Suddenly, his surroundings shift and he finds himself back in the Warlord game's tutorial. The system instructs him to defeat a Minotaur monster, feeling confused about what's happening. He hears two other players calling him over. They ask for his help, explaining that many of their companions were injured by the monster. They mention that now only the three of them are left to face it. Looking at the massive creature, the hero asks if it wasn't supposed to have been removed from the game 5 years ago due to its difficulty. Hearing this, the other two players feel confused and tell him that the game was only released 10 months ago. At this moment, the hero realizes that he has been sent 5 years back in time. When the two players urge him again to help defeat the monster, he simply grabs his sword and moves forward alone. The Minotaur lunges at him, but he easily dodges and slices the creature into pieces in an instant. The two players get shocked to see this and also offer him to join their guild. At that moment, our hero thinks about his past, how his party had betrayed him just for money. Without hesitation, he kills both of them as well. He comments that he has made a decision that he will never trust anyone again in this life. Finishing the tutorial, he wakes up inside the machine and finds himself in a V-Gear store. For a moment, he feels confused, but remembers that 5 years ago, he often played games on the showroom devices in shops like this. He thinks that if he really has gone back 5 years, he has a rare chance as he now holds 5 years of future experience and information. With that advantage, he can take his revenge from those thugs who have betrayed him. He hurries to the receptionist girl and by handing her his bank card, he asks for a base model V-Gear, but after checking his card, she informs him that he does not have enough funds. He realizes she is right as if he had the money. He would have already bought one in his past life. As he wonders about what to do next, he sees an advertisement featuring the same thug lady, who is also a model for the game Warlord. Seeing her face, he realizes that he can't waste time as he needs to start the game again as soon as possible. With that thought, he leaves the store to find a way to get money. Sometime later, he returns home, but this time he has bought a V-gear machine. He looks at the business card of the company he has borrowed money from. Taking a loan was the fastest method he could think of, but it came with a heavy warning. He recalls when he went to the loan shark's office and asked for 10 million won. The man agreed, but also threatened that if he failed to pay it back, his life would become hell. Thinking that, he enters the machine again and teleports to the game's first mission. The surroundings feel familiar, as it has been a long time since he first stood here. He thinks to himself that a girl should appear soon, just like before. At this moment, the girl named Ariadne materializes and congratulates him on clearing the tutorial. She explains that he must now choose a basic class, and that the skills he raises here will shape his future specialization. She begins with the warrior class, the fighters who battle on the front lines with melee weapons. He considers it, remembering how quickly he leveled up with that class in his past life, but he also knows how difficult it is to play solo later on, so he rejects it. The girl describes the second class, the cleric, a healer who supports others, but our hero passes that one as well. Then she says there is only one option left. She uses her ability on him, to which the system confirms his class selection. He gets teleported to a new location, where an old man greets him. This elder is here to guide him towards the path of magic. He asks what type of magic he wishes to learn. Without hesitation, our hero comments that he wants the dark magic. The old man tries to change the subject and asks how he even knows about the dark magic. He mentions that it is powerful, but it destroys the user's soul. Our hero insists that he understands the risks, to which the old man agrees. Using his power, the elder begins teaching him the forbidden art. He comments that it has been many years since anyone chose this path. A skill book appears in front of the hero, and the old man tells him to place his hand on it. As our hero follows the instructions, the environment around him starts changing. He recalls a famous video from his previous life, a lone necromancer who defeated raid bosses single-handedly. That is the kind of strength our hero wants now. As he is thinking this, the system announces that he has now become a necromancer, and also has learned his first skill, the skeleton fragment. At this moment, a small skeleton head materializes in his hand. When he throws it on the ground, it transforms into a full skeleton warrior. This skeleton is the one who will help him in every battle from now on. Getting excited, our hero asks the skeleton about where the training dungeon is, as he wants to start leveling. But before the skeleton can respond, its head suddenly falls off on its own. After that, our hero enters the training dungeon and feels bad for the skeleton. As it is so weak, that's why its head has fallen off. But since it is undead, it has attached it back. Our hero opens its status window and sees that its level is extremely low, so leveling up quickly is the first priority. While he is checking the window, some wolves appear. Our hero thinks that they aren't strong, but they are fast and perfect for testing performance. He summons the skeleton and orders it to attack. The skeleton charges forward, to which the hero feels satisfied with its movement. But the wolves tear it apart instantly. He opens the status window again and sees a section where he can assign different modes. He switches the skeleton to defense mode and sends it back. But the wolves defeat it again. When he tries action mode, the skeleton starts dancing, to which our hero feels embarrassed. As he does not have another choice, he kills the wolves by himself. He also tries to delete his account, but the system tells him that accounts less than 3 months old cannot be deleted. He realizes he has to start paying his loan next month, yet his summon is useless in battle. As he worries, he notices another detail in the status window, that the summon creature has a deep learning system and can learn from combat. He understands that the skeleton saw him kill the wolves and is now learning from observation. He hands it a stick, deciding to train it just like he once trained his guild members. He tells the skeleton to remember one rule in combat, that if it can't dodge, it will die. He punches at it to make it dodge. But the skeleton stands still and gets knocked down. He continues attacking slowly, explaining that it must not stay still when hit and must look for an opening to strike back. While he trains it, more wolves appear. But this time, when they rush at the skeleton, it dodges their attacks smoothly and defeats them with the stick. Seeing this, our hero feels relieved. The system then announces that the skeleton's proficiency has increased, and our hero's own level has risen as well. He then heads to the beginner village, Figa's castle, where many players gather. He thinks that with a few more days of training, he will be able to clear the whole dungeon alone. As he is thinking this, suddenly he bumps into a fatty guy. The man gets angry and demands an apology. The hero considers whether he should just kill him. But before anything happens, the fatty guy tries to punch him. At this moment, a strong man nearby stops him and warns him that he can't just hit anyone around. Seeing the man's physique and outfit, our hero recognizes him as Chef, the top-ranked warrior from his previous life. The fatty guy tells the strongest man to stay out of it, saying he will hit this boy back since he has hit him first. But when the strongest man releases a powerful aura, the fatty guy and his group get scared. They whisper that this man is the guildmaster of Red Bulls, one of the top 30 guilds, and someone famous for his love of fighting. Realizing who they are dealing with, they quickly escape from there. The leader then tells the hero not to mind people like them. But the hero simply walks away, saying he does not need help. As he leaves, he admits to himself that he was intimidated by this guy's strength. But he promises that the next time they meet, he himself will be a completely different person. He heads to a cave, thinking about the huge gap between himself and other powerful adventurers. He knows that if he wants revenge, he must become much stronger. While he is lost in thought, a tiger monster suddenly jumps at him. Before it can reach him, the skeleton appears and kills it instantly. His level rises to 10, but he feels frustrated that it took 3 whole days to reach this point. The system congratulates him and removes his beginner symbol. It also rewards him for completing the training dungeon. A war watch appears on his wrist, allowing him to check his abilities and other details about the game. When he opens his status window, the system tells him to distribute his status points. Instead of raising mana or intelligence like a normal necromancer, he puts all of the points into strength. While he is doing this, he notices the skeleton is crying. He tells it that raising mana or intelligence will not help much right now. If he increases his strength, he can pass down all the skills he has mastered at his peak. He orders the skeleton to keep focusing on training. He then heads to the Raiders Association at the Figa's Castle branch. Many quests have appeared, and adventurers are fighting over them. He approaches a receptionist and says he wants a quest. The man explains that the remaining quests are difficult, which is why no one wants them. But the hero does not care about it and picks a quest from the table. This is the quest of clearing the cave at Bima Mountain for a reward of 10 gold. The receptionist asks if he is sure since the reward is low. But the hero knows something important. As if he clears this dull-looking quest before reaching level 15, he will earn a super rare title called Prospect. The title increases all stats by a percentage, making it extremely valuable. After that, he buys some equipment and heads to Bima Mountain. Because he spent most of his money on gear for the skeleton, he can only afford a cheap costume. It ends up making him look like a rabbit. Feeling embarrassed, he decides he will just speedrun the quest and buy proper clothes afterward. Without wasting time, he heads towards the cave. Meanwhile, a man named Multi is also on the same mountain for an adventure. While he is enjoying his raid, he suddenly hears someone calling for help, saying that his friend is seriously injured. When he goes closer, the man explains that a monster they had never seen before attacked them. The adventurer uses his war watch to offer a healing potion. But before he can react, another man from the group strikes him from behind. These men are actually thugs who trick adventurers and steal their items. After defeating the guy completely, they also steal his war watch. They then decide it's time to look for their next target. Inside the cave, the skeleton is fighting with wolves. When the wolves rush at him, the hero switches the skeleton to attack mode. With the sword the hero gave him, the skeleton cuts down the wolves instantly. The system informs the hero that he has gained a large amount of experience. He feels satisfied, thinking that with a sword, a pack of wolves is nothing to the skeleton. He plans to spend the reward points on buying better equipment for the skeleton, to which the skeleton becomes emotional. The hero then moves forward, saying they need to level up quickly to clear the area. Suddenly an arrow hits the skeleton's head. The hero feels confused about who has fired it, but the skeleton is unharmed. The thugs step out and apologize, claiming they thought the skeleton was a monster from far away. The hero accepts their excuse, but he recognizes them immediately. They wear multiple war watches, and there is blood on their weapons and clothes. Our hero tells them that if they want to compensate him, they should give him a mana potion. The thugs say they have no potions but offer to help him level up by killing monsters together. While they talk, more wolves appear. The senior thug quietly asks his group if they remember the plan, to which they confirm. Actually, their plan is simple. They will take aggro, cast an attack buff on the wolves, and intentionally send one wolf charging toward the hero. Doing this, they will pretend it's an accident. They follow the plan and a wolf leaps at the hero, but the skeleton moves first and defeats it easily. Getting shocked by the skeleton's speed, the thugs summon more wolves. When the hero is slightly distracted, one thug sneaks behind him and tries to land a fatal blow, but the hero dodges smoothly and cuts off the thug's hand in an instant. Without hesitation, both the hero and the skeleton rush at the remaining two thugs. They beg him to wait, but he cuts them down as well as he does not trust anyone in this new life and refuses to take chances. The senior thug pleads for mercy and offers all his items, but the hero ignores him and kills him as well. The system notifies him that the thug has dropped 8 war watches. Our hero gets amazed, thinking he can make great use of them, and will finally buy proper clothes. He sees the skeleton still beating the fallen thug, so he asks the skeleton if he wants to buy something for himself too. After buying several items when he heals the skeleton, it looks relieved. Our hero comments that the thug's war watches were complete jackpots. By selling another player's war watch, one random item from their inventory drops. Now the hero has collected black goblin pants, a sword infused with ancient tree essence, a demon's cursed skill book, and some money. He also summons a face mask he creates using the war watches. This mask has an ability to record his gameplay. As he examines it, he remembers his past life, telling his guildmates that everyone wearing a Haho mask would make them go viral. With that thought, he channels power into the mask and enhances it. He decides he will not let anyone steal his things from him again, and he will use this mask to prove himself. Ready to move on? He heads toward his next goal with the skeleton. After some time, he enters the Bima Mountain cave dungeon, where he expects werewolves to appear. He knows this dungeon isn't easy, but with his new equipment, he feels confident. He begins searching for monsters, but hours pass without finding a single one. He feels embarrassed, thinking this makes no sense because the system should notify him if someone else had already cleared this dungeon. Then he notices the skeleton hitting the cave wall. Suddenly, a huge hidden dungeon gate appears. The system announces that he has discovered an instant dungeon. Our hero understands that it is a rare one-time dungeon that spawns inside normal dungeons. When they appear, the regular dungeon becomes inactive until the instant dungeon is cleared. They are more difficult, but the rewards are far better. There is only one rule that the user has to clear it or die. Our hero considers giving up on the quest and finding another. But in the end, he enters the instant dungeon. Inside, he appears in a ruined arena. Before he can react, a massive corrupted werewolf steps out. He gets surprised to see this, and when the monster charges, it slams him into the arena wall. But the hero barely feels the damage and starts laughing. Actually, corrupted monsters are tied to the main quest, and he thinks he is lucky to find one so early. He tells the skeleton to get ready, to which the skeleton agrees. The hero leaps at the monster, and by activating the demon's curse on his sword, he lands a powerful strike. As he does this, the monster's arm cuts down. The system reports that the monster's stats are reduced by 10%. The hero comments that the demon's curse works pretty well for his first try. But then the system warns him that the monster is now angrier than before. When it charges at him to attack again, the hero quickly activates the War Watch ability, slot on. Doing this, a magic circle appears around him and he gets more powerful. Actually, slot on is one of Warlord's unique features. When a player activates it, they gain temporary strength drawn from the world of Warlord. The hero knows this transformation varies from player to player, which is why most users call it the ultimate mode. As the werewolf boss charges at him again, the hero dodges every strike easily. Even so, he can't land a proper counterattack as the monster's speed is overwhelming. Still, he does not give up. When he finally spots an opening, he delivers a strong blow to the creature's chest. Getting angry, the werewolf slams the ground forcefully. The impact shakes the area, and our hero falls back again. Just as the monster leaps at him for a finishing strike, he summons his skeleton companion, who cuts off the werewolf's arm with his sword. The hero tells the skeleton that it's time to use the technique they have practiced. Together, they leap toward the monster and by giving it multiple strikes, they cut it into pieces. At that moment, the system announces that our hero has successfully hunted the werewolf. It also reports that because the skeleton has defeated such a powerful creature, its skill has risen to rank E. Finishing the hunt, the hero receives several rewards, including a necklace called the Corrupted Tracker. He gets amazed when he checks it as it's a rare item. The system also notifies him that 3 new titles have been registered, promising Rookie, Challenger of Heroes, and Corrupted Tracker. The third title confuses him because it's the introductory title for the first chapter of the main quest, Count Corruption. He recalls that the main quest is the core storyline of Warlord's universe, and its rewards are so exceptional that every player tries to get involved. In his previous life, he had barely reached the 4th chapter, yet now he has already unlocked the beginning. It feels like he has hit the jackpot. After logging out of the game, he watches the news, where several players are being interviewed. They proudly announce that their guild is entering the final chapter of the Count Corruption scenario, and aim to complete it within 3 months. Hearing this, the hero feels discouraged. What he has just celebrated as a big achievement is something others have nearly finished. He knows that if he tries to join the scenario at this stage, he will not gain anything. He decides that he should give up on this round and aim for the next chapter instead. But then he realizes that this situation might actually be an opportunity for him. Right now, the entire world is focused on Count Corruption with huge interest. It's the first main quest of Warlord, and it's about to be cleared. He thinks that if he uploads a video related to Count Corruption at this moment, he could attract a lot of viewers. Feeling relieved that he has recorded his own gameplay, he decides he wants to upload it. He knows the editing quality will matter the most, so he concludes that he needs to contact the editor known as Ramini. She is the woman everyone once called the god of editing in his previous life. Meanwhile, as the editor is relaxing, she receives a message from the hero asking her to edit a video for him. At first, she assumes he is just another low-level player trying to show off, since he is only at level 15. But when she watches the footage, she gets stunned and agrees to take on the project without hesitation. After some time, another senior woman watches the uploaded video. She immediately calls her assistant and informs him that a new clip related to Count Corruption has appeared. She notes that it's impressive as someone at level 15 has managed to solo a corrupted werewolf. The assistant comments that they have already checked this video. He insists there's nothing special about it, saying the werewolf's level is low and not worth paying attention to. But the woman disagrees. She says she likes the video and orders him to bring the boy to her. Actually, this woman is none other than the Thunder Queen Suri, the same thug lady who has killed our hero in his previous life. The next day, when the hero wakes up, he notices that the video he uploaded yesterday has gone viral. He can't help but comment that in his previous life, it would have taken him several months to reach this many views. As he checks further, he notices another surprising change. The editor, who is usually very mysterious and never reaches out first, has sent him a message before he contacted her. She asks when he will send her the next video to edit. Seeing this, the hero returns to the gaming machine and thinks about what kind of mission he could record for his next video. He knows there's no way he'll encounter a monster as rare and powerful as the corrupted werewolf again. Meanwhile, in the gaming town, Shev, the powerful player who first met the hero, is also watching the video and is totally impressed. As he is focused on it, his team member, a red-haired girl named Yell, approaches him. He tells her that he is watching a video of a boy who has been very popular nowadays. She does not feel interested in it, but the guy explains that the game is so realistic that it feels like they're moving in real life. This is why new players tend to be cautious and timid with their movements when they first start. He comments that the way the boy has trained his skeleton companion is on a completely different level compared to other necromancers. As he talks about the hero, the red-haired girl reminds him to address his own team because they are about to enter the game in 5 minutes. She tells him he needs to give a strong performance during today's livestream because over 200,000 people bought live tickets just to watch him as he is the leader of Red Bulls and the player ranked 9th in Warlord. The leader gathers his team. As the dungeon gate opens, they prepare themselves and step into the dungeon to hunt. Meanwhile, the hero visits the Raiders Association at the Fagus Castle branch, but he feels disappointed because there are no quests available. At this moment, an old man approaches him, recognizing him as the adventurer who has cleared the cave of Bima Mountain Dungeon. The old man introduces himself and pulls the hero aside. He explains that he knows the hero encountered a mutant in the cave and suspects it is a monster that has been affected by the power of the Corrupt One. He mentions that they have not yet figured out exactly who is behind it, but it is clear that their power is causing monsters to go on a rampage, and many adventurers have already fallen victim. When he comments that this is why a bounty has been placed on the culprit's head, the hero immediately offers to assist, promising to give everything he has to capture the evil figure. At first, the old man hesitates, but when the hero insists on taking on the hidden quest, he finally agrees. He tells the hero about a person named Ahimbri at Bangsa Castle who can teach him. He assures the hero that he will provide a letter of recommendation, and all the hero needs to do is deliver it. Taking the letter, our hero leaves the association. He feels excited as not only has he received a quest to deliver the letter, but he also has the chance to become a student of Ahimbri. He knows that the guy is an NPC, one of the 7 disciples of the great mage Boken. All mages want to meet him because he provides the rarest skill books. While thinking about the new quest, he suddenly remembers a task he needs to complete before starting. He heads to the forest and summons his skeleton companion. He comments that he has not checked his rewards from the last battle yet. From his system, he pulls out the werewolf skull and uses it to strengthen the skeleton. Next, he retrieves the necklace of the corrupted tracker from the system. When he equips it himself, his own status rises significantly. He then tosses 2 small skeleton heads onto the ground. Doing this, 2 more skeletons are born to serve as his companions. He addresses them that from now on, the 3 of them will fight together as a unit. Saying that, they head toward their next target. The hero encounters a level 25 bear monster that charges at him to attack, but he dodges its strike easily. He orders one of his skeletons to attack, but the bear swaps it aside. Feeling embarrassed, the hero instructs the skeletons to approach from the blind spot, hoping for a better strategy. However, the second skeleton leaps straight at the bear from the front and is thrown aside just like the first one. The hero feels angry as he watches his companion's reckless movements. When the third skeleton jumps on the bear, our hero feels hope, thinking this one might succeed. But to his surprise, the bear also strikes it away. Realizing this situation, the hero defeats the bear on his own. Doing this, he explains to his skeletons that when monsters focus on an attack, they instinctively face the source, so it's essential to strike from the blind spot. As he teaches them, he reflects on how useful the necklace of the corrupted tracker has become. His skill rank has increased, allowing him to summon 3 skeletons at once, which is a major improvement. Yet, he also notices a problem. While each skeleton can share what he teaches one of them, they have no experience fighting together. They have not learned coordination, so they still struggle to act as a cohesive unit, despite his guidance. He notes that he himself has finally reached level 20, just as he had hoped. He realizes that he probably will not be making any fighting videos for a while. He orders the skeletons to follow him, planning to train all the way to Bangsa Castle. Meanwhile, inside Bangsa Castle, a large crowd has gathered. When a man emerges from the boss room, everyone swarms him, demanding to know what kind of quest he received. Observing this, the hero thinks to himself that he can find people like this anywhere. These are the people who make no effort themselves and only try to leech off the achievements of others. As he considers this, one of the men also asks him if he has any kind of quest. The hero ignores him and presents a letter of recommendation from the senior of Figa's castle to the guard. After checking it, the guard grants him the permission to enter the boss room. As the hero steps forward, the other men attempt to follow him as a group, but the guard blocks them. Thinking about what reward the boss of Banksa Castle might give him, the hero steps into the room. But he gets surprised to see countless skill books arranged everywhere. The boss asks him for his identity, to which the hero presents the recommendation letter. Reading through it, the boss hands him 2 skill books, Bone Armor and Madness Helm, as a reward. The hero gets surprised because both are rare and valuable. The boss then tells him that his current quest is complete and that he may leave. However, the hero pleads with him that he will do anything if given another quest. The boss agrees and assigns him a new task to retrieve an egg from a nest. The hero feels disappointed since there is no reward for this quest. Meanwhile, a knight enters the same town. Looking at him, everyone gets surprised as he wears exceptionally expensive gear. Scanning the area around, the knight remarks that this is the place where the boy known as Hyamask can be found. At this moment, the hero steps out of the boss room, feeling like he has been scammed. He has expected a quest related to the main story, but instead, he was given a simple task to retrieve an egg without any reward. As he is thinking this, a group of players suddenly surrounds him, demanding to know what quest he has received. As he is feeling confused about how to deal with them, suddenly the knight appears and pushes the crowd back. The knight then asks if the hero has a moment to talk. They move to a quiet street where the knight first apologizes for the trouble. He removes his helmet to reveal his face. From the expensive gear he wears, the hero guesses that this knight must be a ranker, though he does not recognize him. The knight asks if he is Hyamask. Noticing the situation, the hero decides to pretend as he does not know about Hyamask. He responds by asking who Hyamask is. The knight then inquires whether he has not received a quest from a Himbri yet. The hero responds that he cannot share any information with the knight. With a fearful expression, he even grants permission to be killed if the knight wishes to fight, observing his behavior. The knight apologizes for the misunderstanding, to which the hero quietly leaves. From behind, the knight's female companion approaches and comments that she does not believe the boy is the one they are searching for. She wonders if they should continue watching around a Himbri. She comments that the corrupt count quest is nearly complete, and that even if someone discovered anything now, it would be too late to act. The knight mentions that the Egg of the Nest quest is a main quest, and they shouldn't take unnecessary risks. Because of this, both of them return to their positions. Watching them from above, the hero realizes that they must belong to an organized group since they are coordinating so efficiently. He also concludes that if they were part of an ordinary guild, they would have revealed their identities after explaining their intentions. This means that they are far from average. Afterward, the hero returns to the forest, where his skeleton companions are training. He thinks to himself that one thing is certain. There is more to the Nest Egg quest than it seems. The hero realizes that the knight and his companion probably saw his video, which is why they knew he would receive a quest from a Himbri. He thinks to himself that he has no idea what this quest truly involves, but if he continues, he is bound to keep running into them. He also notes that if he wants to avoid them, he has to stop uploading any videos for a while. He wonders why so many chaotic people keep interfering in his life, as dealing with the thug lady alone is already more than enough. Meanwhile, the thug lady emerges from the gaming machine. Her female assistant hands her some water and asks how the guild entrance exam went. The thug lady comments that all the participants were trash. She asks if there are any updates on Hyamask. The assistant replies that the boy seems to have joined another guild, as he has not responded yet. Hearing this, the thug lady feels angry and instructs her assistant to report back once she knows for certain. She then asks about the president's response, to which the assistant says he has not commented yet. The thug lady remarks that he remains silent because the warlord is performing exceptionally well. She changes her clothes and remarks that he had once tried to forcefully arrange a marriage when she first mentioned playing this game. She then orders her assistant to gather a new set of applicants and report back by tomorrow morning. Hearing this, the assistant gets stunned. Meanwhile, the hero makes his way to the lizard swamp, reasoning that since Ahimbri is currently at Banksa Castle, the quest must be somewhere nearby. Considering the task involves finding an egg, he narrows the possibilities to a bird, reptile, or insect-type monster. With his current level in mind, the lizard swamp is the only suitable location. He summons his skeletons and notes that the monsters here are high level, so he should probably use the enhancement skill he learned last time. Activating the Madness Helm skill on the skeletons, they grow stronger than before, even though they have horns on their heads. The hero decides they need to test their new power, so he orders them to attack him first. As one of the skeletons leaps at him to attack, the hero quickly punches its head away. He feels bad as his companion has screamed at him. While he is assessing the situation, a group of lizard man monsters emerges from the swamp. He orders his skeletons to take them down. The skeletons follow the instructions and defeat 3 monsters instantly. Watching them, the hero feels satisfied as his level rises, and he gains valuable experience points. He comments that over the next week, they will continue hunting monsters and searching for the egg. And if this area isn't the right region for the quest, they will move elsewhere. Meanwhile, a beautiful girl named Ilya watches him from a distance. She reflects that she rarely admits it, but her beauty makes life easy as everyone admires her regardless of her actions. If she appears troubled, her slaves rush to support her. Lost in thought, she suddenly slips and falls into dirty water. She feels embarrassed as one of her slaves had brought her here to help her level up, but he ended up dying immediately. That's why she is stuck in this swamp. She realizes the monsters in this area are far too high level, and even moving around is difficult. That is why she decides to trick our hero. She tears her clothes and approaches him while pretending to be injured. She begs for the help, claiming her legs are hurt because of the monsters. To her shock, the hero ignores her and continues walking. Feeling insulted, she can't believe a top-tier beauty like her is being dismissed so casually. Deeper in the forest, the skeletons finish off more lizard man monsters, while the hero notices that the girl is still following him. He thinks he has ignored her because he didn't want to waste time, but now that she is tailing him, he must deal with her quickly. He asks what kind of help she needs. She explains that she has dropped her sword into a swamp while hunting and only wants him to retrieve it. The hero agrees to help, but tells her that after this, she must leave him alone, to which she agrees. She leads him to the swamp where her sword is lodged in the center. The hero orders his skeletons to retrieve it, the skeletons obey, and as she watches them move, she thinks to herself that necromancers are powerless without their summons. She tries to strike him from behind as he has ignored her earlier, but before she reaches him, the hero dodges her attack and throws her straight into the swamp. Feeling angry, she yells that her bodyguards will destroy him soon. Our hero tells her to look behind her, as lizard man monsters emerge from the swamp and kill her instantly. The hero comments that he has seen her true motive from the beginning, as he is done being tricked in his past life. He then orders his skeletons to get back to work, as she has wasted his time already. A moment later, the system notifies him that the girl has died in the game. He is surprised to see that he actually earns points because of her death. Remembering how she bragged about having bodyguards, he thinks that she was just talking nonsense since a girl like her couldn't possibly have any. But in reality, she was telling the truth as her bodyguards are watching our hero's movements, and now they're ready to avenge her. After some time, one of the girl's bodyguards charges at the hero, but our hero gives him some serious injuries. He asks the man why he is going this far for her, pointing out that she would not date him even if he avenged her. The man says he is doing it simply because he loves her. The hero ends the fight by cutting him down. He comments that the girl kept trying to scam him. That's why he has defeated her. He never expected her earlier threats to turn out true. Because of her, he keeps running into crazy people every day. He is already stressed from not finding any proper quests, and now he is being chased by obsessed goons. He even considers finding that girl again just to kill her one more time. But he realizes that would only drag him into deeper trouble. He picks up the war watch the man has dropped. The system informs him that he has obtained goblin leather boots and the necklace of promise. The hero recognizes the necklace and realizes it can sell for 800k1. Just as he is excited about the reward, another one of the girl's bodyguards appears to fight him. The hero feels satisfied as he keeps earning rewards from each encounter. But when he notices there are too many of her bodyguards, he realizes things are getting dangerous. So he starts running for his life. As they chase him, he orders his skeletons to block them. However, one bodyguard uses a love-type skill and slices the skeletons easily. Seeing this, the hero gets stunned and realizes these men are higher level than him, and there are too many to fight head-on. He keeps running until he reaches a deep forest. The area looks different from the rest of the region, and he notices a strange black swamp he has never seen before, even after days of searching. Looking at it all, he gets an idea about how he can defeat those bodyguards. A little later, the bodyguards arrive at the swamp. In the center, several skeletons are dancing around. This is the trap the hero set for them. The bodyguards get angry and assume the boy is mocking them with this display. One man leaps toward the skeletons to attack. But before he lands a blow, a massive dragon lizard bursts out of the swamp and kills the guy instantly. Seeing this, the others get totally shocked. At this moment, the hero hides behind the trees and feels excited as he realizes the nest belongs to a dragon lizard. It's a boss monster with overwhelming defense, health, and attack. So powerful that a party of 20 players averaging level 40 would barely manage to take it down. He recalls hearing that the dragon lizard raid was completed some time ago, meaning this monster normally would not be here. But he knows that if a player with a related quest enters the area, the monster will respawn. He concludes that since the dragon lizard is here, this must be where a Himbrice quest takes place. He feels bad as he wasn't expecting the boss to send him to fight such a creature. But now he has the chance to gather strong teammates, so it should be manageable. As the bodyguards start to retreat, the hero declares that they will not be leaving so easily. He activates the Madness Hell mode on his skeletons and sends them to block the bodyguard's path. At that moment, the dragon lizard kills another bodyguard, to which the others panic. Seeing the distraction, the hero gets the opportunity and moves toward the nest to steal the egg. When he reaches the huge nest, he gets surprised to notice that there are no eggs there. After searching carefully, he discovers an egg-shaped stone. As he examines it, the system notifies him that his skeleton warriors have been destroyed. Realizing the dragon lizard is returning, he understands he must leave immediately. As the monster comes back, the hero manages to escape. He concludes that he has no choice but to bring this egg-shaped stone to the boss, since searching the nest further would be far too dangerous. He returns to the injured bodyguards and takes their war watches. He remarks that Warlord is such an interesting game, full of strange people, because players have so much freedom. When one of the bodyguards gets angry, the hero explains that he has only been playing along with them as a joke, but he has limits. He warns them that if they chase him again, he will not go easy on them. With that, he leaves, thinking that if they pursue him despite the warning, it will be a full-scale war. After some time, he reaches the boss of Banksa Castle and hands over the egg-shaped stone he retrieved from the nest. He hopes it's the correct item, as he does not want to search the map again. The boss examines the stone carefully and confirms that it is exactly what he was looking for. The hero gets amazed, and the boss comments that he didn't expect someone like him to succeed so quickly. The hero replies that he gave it his all and asks if he can receive the next quest immediately. The boss then asks if the hero knows what the item is. He explains that whenever they researched areas with mutated monsters, this object was always present, so they have temporarily named it the Corruption Stone. The hero realizes that this is why the knight had been chasing him. He understands that the Corruption Stone is a key item tied to the main quest, and that the knight wanted to prevent anyone else from obtaining it, as it could affect the flow of the storyline later. He reflects that he had thought the quest was a scam, but never imagined it would connect directly to the main quest. The boss admits that he knew this quest would be overwhelming for the hero, but they are also facing a powerful being. He needs to test the hero's willpower and asks if he is ready to fight against corruption. The hero recognizes that being involved in the main quest is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He gets ready to devote his body and soul to the task. However, the boss points out that the hero must have seen how strong the monsters are, and that such a dangerous quest isn't suitable for a beginner like him. However, the boss tells him that if he asks respectfully, he will accept him as a disciple. The hero agrees, and as he steps out of the room, the system notifies him that he has completed the Egg of the Nest quest and earned the title, A. Himri's Disciple. It also informs him that he must return to the boss after reaching level 40. The hero feels bad, thinking the boss is such a scammer. Meanwhile, a group of players stands at the dragon lizard's lair, and they have successfully defeated the boss. As they celebrate, the guild's senior approaches the knight who first met the hero in town, and thanks him for his assistance in taking down the dragon lizard. The senior explains that without the knight's help, they would have likely died. They are grateful that he ensured the raid ended safely. He mentions that he was surprised to hear there were paid helpers for boss raids, which is why he called the knight. When the senior hands him some money, the knight comments that this isn't the promised payment. The senior insists that he at least take the payment, but the knight refuses. He says that if they are serious about it, he will claim every item from the nest as promised. He thinks he is lucky as he never expected an opportunity to get the corruption stone. He recalls that when he first heard the dragon lizard had respawned, he worried that Heiho Mask might already be working on the quest. But since the dragon lizard is still alive, the boy must have failed to complete it. The knight resolves that all he has to do now is take the corruption stone and prevent Heiho Mask from finishing the quest. Yet when he searches the nest, he gets shocked as there is no corruption stone. Meanwhile, our hero sits comfortably at home. He reflects that all the days he spent struggling are finally over. Feeling satisfied, he decides to order some good food for himself, now that he has earned plenty of money. When he converts his game points into real money, he gets surprised to see that most of it has already been spent on rent and bills. He feels frustrated as he can't even order a proper meal for himself. At that moment, he receives a message from the lady editor asking if he is quitting his channel. The hero suddenly remembers that he forgot to update her that he will not be able to make more videos for a while because some dangerous players are after him. But then he thinks that he does not need to worry about them when he is practically starving. He decides to stop caring about them and focus on himself. With that bravery, he re-enters the game and finds himself in the Forest of the Dead. He thinks that the Forest of the Dead is perfect for gaining experience points, and its eerie atmosphere will make his videos more engaging. He tells his skeleton companions that they are going to hunt. But first, he summons another teammate, a skeleton magician, to assist them on this mission. This is a skill the boss granted him, which allows him to summon the magician. As he explains this, undead monsters with level 33 suddenly rise from the ground. The skeleton companions get scared from them, but our hero orders them to attack immediately. He explains that undead monsters behave differently from normal ones, and that their usual combat instincts will not work the same way. Seeing that his companions are still trying to hide, he tells them to stop wasting time as they have a mission to complete. One of the skeletons leaps at an undead monster and strikes its arm, but the creature remains alive. The hero explains that normal attacks will not work on these monsters. He summons the mage's hammer himself and smashes the monster's head, to which it gets defeated instantly. He tells his companions that they need to aim for the monster's head with their strikes. He sets today's goal to hunt down 100 undead monsters within 100 minutes. He warns them that if they fail, he will leave them in this frightening forest. Hearing this, the skeletons leap at the monsters and start fighting with full force. In a short time they defeat many undead, and the hero notices his own level has risen. Watching them, he realizes he expected it to take longer for his companions to get used to weapons, but they're performing better than he anticipated. Just as he is feeling good, a massive undead warrior appears. The hero gets shocked because it's a rare monster that spawns randomly. He quickly orders his companions to attack and mentions that they'll grill its meat later. They leap forward and strike together, but the monster slams its axe into the ground. The force pushes the hero and his companions backward. He feels relief as he had targeted the monster's arm, not its face. That's why they are now saved from the fatal blow. Noticing that its arm is already damaged, he and his companions land another powerful strike on the monster. Our hero feels satisfaction as the monster collapses, but it quickly tries to strike him from behind. At that moment, the skeleton magician unleashes his fire magic and defeats the monster just in time. The system notifies the hero that because of this victory, he has earned experience points. Before he can fully process it, another system alert appears that the field boss has detected the death of its subordinate and is now heading their way. Suddenly, a magic circle materializes in the air and a massive golden monster with multiple arms emerges from it. The hero gets surprised and realizes that this is the boss of the Forest of the Dead and a first-class mage. He thinks that the condition for its appearance was defeating a large number of undead monsters. He is confident he could take it down, and if he succeeds, it would be a jackpot. But when he looks around for his skeleton companions, they are gone. The system informs him that his mana is too low to summon them, and he himself has to face the boss alone. Noticing the situation, the hero activates the power of his Warwatch slot on, gaining additional abilities from the game. He leaps at the monster to strike, but the monster retaliates with multiple fire spells. He dodges swiftly, realizing that if he allows it to keep casting, he has no chance of winning. Analyzing the situation, he delivers a powerful blow to one of its hands and destroys it away. Some of the monster's spells vanish as they are linked to its hands. He understands that destroying all its hands is the key, but the system warns that the monster has grown angrier and is now unleashing a more powerful skill. Observing its movements, he gets surprised. When the monster launches a devastating attack, the hero falls back very badly. Feeling confused, he struggles to recall its patterns, knowing it has been years since he last faced this type of creature. As the monster strikes again with immense force, he decides to try everything he has. He dodges each attack, but finds there is no time to counterattack. He realizes he needs to find a blind spot, but before he can act, the monster suddenly grabs him with its hand. The hero does not panic as he still has one hidden skill left, Demon's Curse. Activating it, he breaks free from the monster's grip and lands a devastating punch on its face. A powerful blaster ups and the boss gets defeated instantly. The system notifies him that he has gained a large amount of experience points and earned the title, Skeleton Destroyer. He feels relief at completing the task. Checking his status, he sees his level has risen to 36 and his mana is at 141. He notes it's relatively low, having invested only the bare minimum points. He reflects that until now, his tiles and fast leveling have been enough to get by, but with more skills to manage, it will not suffice. He also boosted the strength of his skeleton companions, but it feels pointless now, since they are gone. Thinking that, he decides that for now, he will send a video of the raid to the lady editor and also aims to reach level 40. Meanwhile, when the lady editor finishes editing his video, she feels impressed by his performance. She remarks that he defeated a boss monster higher in level than himself without taking a single hit. Not only that, he has managed to pull off such stunts on the spot without any prior practice that proves he has a remarkable talent. Carefully choosing the most fitting title for the video, she uploads it to his channel. Meanwhile, the hero arrives at Bangsu Castle and announces to the boss that he has returned stronger. The boss gets stunned by his appearance as he looks like a beggar, but the hero simply demands the promised reward. The boss hands him a skill book called Osteology. Feeling surprised, the hero realizes it's a super rare necromancer skill, impossible to find in the markets. With it, his mana cost for summoning skeletons is reduced by 10%, and he can summon one additional skeleton. Next, the boss presents his second reward, the Corrupted Tracker's Ring. He explains that he used the corrupted stone the hero brought so he could harness the power of the Corrupt One himself. The hero gets amazed, knowing this ring is only given to the first players who complete the main quest, but as he is going to take it, the boss suddenly challenges him that he will only give it if the hero can catch him. The hero agrees, and when the boss runs, he leaps at him with incredible speed. Moments later, he emerges from the castle wearing the ring as he has successfully caught the boss. He also receives a new quest from the boss, to search for an agent named Miggy at Surya Castle. Realizing that the castle area is high level, he understands he needs to gain more experience before heading there. As he contemplates his plan, a message from the lady editor suddenly pops up. She tells him that she has uploaded his latest video to the channel and urges him to check the analytics for himself. When he opens it, he gets surprised as his video has already surpassed 2 million views. On top of that, he has received significant donations from multiple guilds. He is amazed at the thought that he can now afford any kind of delicious food he wants. Deciding to log out for the moment, he notices another massive donation. 1000,001 from the Thunder Hunter Guild, accompanied by a message inviting him to join. Looking at the guild's name, he recognizes it as the leader of this guild is the same thug lady who has killed him in his previous life. He recalls that her guild had also tried to recruit him back then. As he is about to comment that he will not join the guild, he suddenly remembers that he made the same mistake in his previous life, which is why she became his enemy. He recalls sitting with his guild members and asking them why the thug lady is so persistent despite his repeated refusals. They tell him he is lucky to have a request from her, as her guild is one of the top 30, and she, as the leader and daughter of a wealthy family, can offer a generous salary. But he does not care about any of that and still refuses to join. Thinking back, he feels sad about how his own team members have betrayed him for the money she offered. Realizing he can't just get crazy for the money, he reties himself to continue on his path. He summons his skeleton companions and tells them that he defeated the golden monster alone. He mentions that they need to practice moving more efficiently, so nothing like last time happens again. The skeletons agree, and he instructs them that their next destination is Tsuru Castle, so they should train while traveling there. He pulls a stick from his inventory and gives his skeletons a clear order: run to the castle, and if any of them fall behind, he will punish them. Hearing this, the skeletons run forward quickly. Meanwhile, as the thug lady has defeated several monsters on her own, her companion named Hatch comes there. She asks him about the progress on the corrupted count, and he admits they still have not found any clues for the next quest. She remarks that they can't allow the Hydra Guild to claim the main quest line before them. He reassures her that they will figure it out soon, as they are preparing to attend the meeting with the leaders of all the top 30 guilds. But she comments that a meeting with losers like them is unlikely to be useful. Saying that, she heads off to attend the meeting with those guild seniors. Meanwhile, the hero reflects on how he has spent the money he earned. First, he has paid off all his debts. Then, he bought several rare skill books, and now his balance is back at zero. Sitting with his skeletons, he begins learning the skills from the books. He places his hand on one of them, and the system notifies him that he has acquired the skin grafting skill, which boosts his defense. To test it, he summons a skeleton horn from his inventory, and applies it to himself for extra strength. Striking his hand with a sword, he gets amazed to see he suffers no injury. Next, he touches another book and gains the Curse of Sloth skill, which can slow a target's movements. Testing it, he casts the skill on a skeleton, to which it visibly slows down. Finally, he places his hand on the last book, and learns the ability to summon a golem. The skill he wanted most, and the hardest to obtain. As he activates it, a massive golem erupts from the ground who is also our hero's companion from now on. The hero remarks that a necromancer is nothing without golems, and this one is incredibly powerful. On top of that, it has a copy mode, meaning it will mimic whatever action the hero performs. Testing it, he punches the air and notices the golem does not respond immediately. At first, he wonders if it's an error, but a moment later, the golem punches in the air too. He realizes the golem is simply slow as it repeats actions a few seconds after he performs them. Meanwhile, 4 people have gathered in the meeting room. First, a boy named Nergal, leader of the Ares Guild. Thanks everyone for attending. Shev, the powerful leader of the Red Bulls, is also present. The third is Berg, the leader of the Big Smile Guild, and fourth is the thug lady, Sirei. One of them notes that while 29 leaders were invited, only 4 have shown up. The Red Bulls leader explains that the others simply will not appear. Ares' leader then begins the meeting, pointing out that the top 30 guilds of warlords are usually in fierce competition, so having this meeting is extremely rare. He explains that the Hydra Guild has discovered the identity of the corrupt count and is planning the final raid a month from now. The leader of the Red Bulls remarks that this is a serious problem, as none of the other guilds are even close to reaching that point. Big Smile's leader gets angry, knowing that if Hydra claims the corrupt count, they will dominate all future main quests. At that moment, the thug lady tells them that if they're afraid, they can step aside. When Big Smile's leader tries to argue with her, the other two leaders stop both of them, warning that fighting among themselves now would give Hydra a clear advantage. The leader of the Ares Guild proposes that the four of them form a temporary team until the Corrupt Count questline is complete. He mentions that they will share all information about the Count, to which all of them agree. Later, as the thug lady takes a shower, she feels bad that her guild cannot even defeat the Chapter 1 boss alone, and must rely on others. Yet she knows there is nothing she can do for now. If Hydra secures the Corrupt Count, she will be powerless. She realizes that now is the time to lay low and wait for the right opportunity. She calls her assistant and orders to tell every guild member to keep watch on Hydra and report any movements immediately. Doing this, she declares that the Corrupt Count will be hers at any cost. Meanwhile, when the hero arrives at Surya Castle, a senior informs him that he must go to Babru Forest, where Agent Miggy went missing. He instructs the hero to search the area thoroughly and look for any traces. The hero gets stunned and comments that the Babru Forest is filled with level 70 monsters, far above his current level. The senior explains that this is exactly why the task is assigned to him. He warns that declining the quest will cost him to lose the title of Corrupt Tracker. After that, the hero sits in the town and feels disappointed because of this all. He reviews the quest details and sees that he must find Agent Miggy and take over the mission. If he refuses this dangerous quest, he will lose his title as Corrupt Tracker and be removed from the main quest line. He reflects that taking on quests far above his level has backfired. Normally, he would not have been able to complete them, yet somehow he managed and advanced to the next. Now he faces a quest meant for level 60 and above. As he contemplates his next move, he overhears a conversation. A man asks a female team member whether she thinks the Hydra Guild will complete the main quest line. He comments that if they do, they will be very famous. The girl notes that the rest of the top 30 guilds are struggling to even begin their quest lines. But the man asks what will happen to all the other ongoing main quests if the Corrupt Count is defeated. Listening to this, the hero suddenly gets an idea and realizes that perhaps he does not need to rush to Baburu Forest now. Meanwhile, two members of the Hydra Guild keep watching on a castle through their telescopes. One of them remarks that their mission is finally nearing its end, as they are exhausted from days of constant surveillance. He wonders what kind of reward awaits them for defeating the Corrupt Count. The second member interrupts, warning him not to get distracted. Their task is to secretly monitor the Corrupt Count's castle, and they cannot afford to let their focus go down or risk leaking any information. As they converse, another guy named Kim suddenly appears who is from the Red Bulls Guild. The Hydra members get surprised and ask what he is doing there. The guy explains that the high-level boss monster on the mountain is his target, and he is on his way to defeat it. After teasing both of the Hydra members, he moves off quickly and contacts his senior chef. He informs him that two Hydra members are present. The leader notes that it seems the tip they received about the Corrupt Count's location was accurate. However, his girlfriend comments that she was certain it was just a prank message. She mentions that the Hydra members have provided such critical information anonymously and for free, making their true motive unclear. The leader suggests that perhaps they harbor a grudge against their own guild. The informer asks if he should track them down now, but the leader tells him not to, warning that if that location is indeed the Corrupt Count's castle, most of Hydra's forces will be stationed there. As they speak, a girl named Hahui, the princess of the Thunder Hunters Guild, suddenly attacks the informer from behind. She demands him to reveal everything he knows or face immediate death. Meanwhile, the hero's golem is engaged in battle with a bear while the skeletons are watching their fight. The hero himself checks his system, noticing that no expected emails have been received. He considers that the only way to solve the situation without venturing into Baburu Forest is to forcibly complete the quest. He reflects that the Warlord main questline consists of multiple chapters, and the current one in progress is Chapter 1, The Corrupt Count. He mentions that once the Corrupt Count is defeated, the chapter will end, and all related quests will be forcibly closed. Even if he attempted to take on the Corrupt Count alone, there is no way he could defeat it within the time limit. He explains that he does not care who accomplishes the task as he just needs someone to do it, which is why he has spread the information to multiple guilds. However, the problem is that no one has contacted him yet. As he considers this, the system notifies him that the Hydra Guild's official channel has started a livestream. At the same time, the bear fighting his golem is making too much noise, so the hero delivers a powerful punch to silence it. He opens the livestream and sees the senior of the Hydra Guild announcing that they are the first to uncover the identity of the corrupt count and are planning a raid. He specifies that the raid is scheduled to take place just 3 days from now. Seeing this, the hero remarks that the raid is happening sooner than he expected, but he feels satisfied, as everything is happening according to his plan. He notes that he has no reason to worry about the Hydra Guild as they are far ahead of other guilds in the main quest and have many skilled players. He adds that once the main quest is complete, his biggest obstacle will be gone, and in 3 days, his life will be peaceful and enjoyable. However, 3 days later, news spreads that the Hydra Guild has failed in the mission. All of its players have perished. Sitting at home, the hero gets surprised by the report and suddenly receives another notification that the Red Bulls Guild has started a livestream. Opening it, he sees their leader addressing his team. The leader explains that since the battlefield is being restored, it is clear Hydra failed their raid. He emphasizes that the enemy is so powerful that even Hydra could not hold out. He acknowledges that their own chances of success are now slim, but he declares that they will still take on the challenge, to which his team members cheer. He then introduces another partner who will join them in the raid, the guildmaster of the Thunder Hunters, the Thug Lady. When our hero sees her, he gets stunned. Sometime earlier, when the leader of the Red Bulls was sitting with his team, the Thug Lady suddenly appeared to meet him. He asked if she was declaring war, but she calmly assured him that for now, they were allies. The leader then questioned why, if they were allies, her team member, the princess, had beaten up one of his teammates. The lady didn't talk about this and changed the topic to business. She said she had heard he had information about the corrupt count. At first, the leader refused to share anything, but she told him she already knew that several members from the top 30 guilds had received intel on the count. She mentioned that since someone like him, who normally couldn't even begin tracking the count, had suddenly started investigating, even a fool would notice something was going on. Then she asked another question, if he really believed the Hydra Guild could complete the task. The leader wasn't confident, to which she pointed out that Hydra had rushed the raid date just to be the first. But the corrupt count is the first major quest boss, and defeating him isn't that easy. The leader then asks her for the real reason she came. In response, she drives her sword into the table, and offers a proposal that they should join forces for the corrupt count raid. Now, in the present, both of them are fighting side by side against the corrupt count. When the enemy unleashes a wave of monsters, the Thug Lady cuts them down swiftly, but the count does not stop and sends an even larger horde, to which both teams struggle to fight. Seeing the situation getting worse, the leader slams his sword into the ground, to which a large number of monsters get defeated. He shouts for the Thug Lady to go straight for the corrupt count, as he has now cleared a path for her. She leaps forward and by dodging incoming attacks, she gets closer to the enemy. But the corrupt count inserts several spikes into her body. Seeing this, the leader gets worried, but she does not lose control. She cuts through every spike, and by delivering a powerful slash across the corrupt count's body, she cuts him into 2 pieces. When the hero realizes she has actually defeated the corrupt count, he gets shocked. Still, he feels relieved as what matters is that the corrupt count is dead, no matter who dealt the final blow. He states that this will be the last victory these guilds ever claim, because in the end, he will be the one who truly comes out on top. After that, he heads to the Bulkas Mountains and happily runs across the open fields with his skeletons. But his excitement ends when a group of pig monsters suddenly starts chasing him. A few hours earlier, when he reached the area, he saw that the entrance was sealed with laser barriers. He knew he couldn't enter until a certain condition was met. However, he also knew that the Bulkas Mountains were the starting point of Chapter 2's main quest. So once the corrupt count, Chapter 1's main boss was defeated, the barrier would automatically disappear. With that in mind, he stepped into the field and immediately received the title, first to enter this area. He declared to his skeletons that it was finally his time to shine. But moments later, level 60 pig monsters began chasing him. Now, in the present, as he runs for his life, he wonders how these pigs appeared so quickly when he only just entered. Then he realizes that other players must have already realized the area is open, so he can't afford to waste time. He switches his skeletons into hell mode and orders them to attack. But unfortunately, the pigs wipe them out instantly. Sensing danger, the hero quickly uses his skill, Curse of Sloth, and freezes the pigs on the spot. He knows they will not be able to move for about 5 seconds, so he summons his sword and prepares to strike before the effect ends. But just as he charges forward, a monkey monster throws a banana at his feet, which causes our hero to fall down. He feels angry at the monkey, but at that moment he realizes the Curse of Sloth has worn off and the pigs are charging at him to attack. However, before they reach him, a barrage of powerful arrows shoots through the pigs which kill them instantly. Feeling confused as the hero looks around, a man who has done this all approaches and asks about his condition. Meanwhile, in Surya Castle, two men notice someone wearing a full set of gleaming white mamba armor standing in the street. They comment that the armor is extremely expensive and only a high-ranking player could afford it. This knight is the same man who previously encountered the hero. His companion, a girl named Michelle, joins him. The knight asks if she has discovered the identity of the mysterious reporter. She rejects and says none of the guilds know who sent them the information. She feels puzzled about how someone who knows the true identity of the corrupt count could share such valuable intel with everyone for free. The knight asks her if she has found any trace of the haha mask. She replies that the boy is only uploading ordinary hunting videos and insists there's no way a newbie who just started the main quest line could be behind all this. Then she asks the knight where he is headed for his next helper job. He says he is going to the Sweepers Guild. As he moves toward the job, he tells her to focus on finding the culprit because he does not know who it is, but he will make sure they pay for disturbing the world's balance. Meanwhile, the man who saved the hero's life brings him to his home in the center of the forest. The hero introduces himself as a disciple of Ahimbri and feels fortunate because he never imagined the main NPC of Chapter 2's main quest line. He recalls that this guy is skilled enough to have been the prince's swordsmanship instructor, but he was dismissed after an unfortunate incident. Later, he became the captain of the rangers guarding the Bulkist Mountains. Just as the hero feels excited about meeting him, the NPC warns him that he should leave soon since there's nothing here but monsters. The hero remarks that even though the corrupt count is dead, corrupted monsters are still roaming the area. He explains that he was tracing the source of the corruption and ended up here. He asks the NPC if he knows anything about it. The guy says he has someone in mind but has no solid evidence yet. He then asks the hero if he would help him to gather the proof. Getting surprised by the offer, the hero receives a system notification that he has obtained a title, first one to contact with a Bulkus Ranger. The hero agrees and asks what he should do first. The NPC gives him a new quest to investigate the monsters near this area. For completing it, the hero will earn 500 gold and gain the NPC's trust. Stepping out of the home, the hero feels excited about the quest. He decides to leave the higher-level monsters, like wild boars and bear warriors. For now, he will start with the easier targets, like those level 15 monkey monsters. Meanwhile, the monkey continues causing chaos in the forest by throwing bananas at anyone who passes by. As he is busy in this, the hero silently approaches from behind. He swings his sword to strike, but the monkey quickly notices him. Dodging each attack with incredible speed, the monkey starts running. The hero chases him, feeling bad about how fast the monkey is, while the dense trees keep blocking his strikes. Seeing an opportunity, the hero throws his sword at the monkey. The monkey gets scared, but the sword ends up lodged in a tree. Feeling safe, the monkey relaxes, but the hero reveals that it was just a distraction. He summons his massive golem, which lands a powerful punch from behind, to which the monkey gets defeated instantly. The hero declares that now is the time to hunt down more of these monsters. At the same time, the Red Bull's leader and the thug lady are giving interviews to the media. When she returns, her companion comments that she is the best for defeating the corrupt count alone. But the thug lady replies that she was lucky, because their success would not have been possible without the Red Bull's support. She also thinks about the hero's videos and realizes that to secure a complete victory, they need his skills. She orders her companion to contact Hatch. The girl questions why she wants to reach out to that loser. But the thug lady replies that there's something they need to hunt down. Meanwhile, the hero continues clearing the forest of monkey monsters, but suddenly his sword breaks. He knows it's time to find new equipment, but he does not have the money to buy any. He decides to focus on collecting monster gems. These gems have a very low drop rate but are essential for crafting items, with additional effects depending on the monster they come from. He knows the gems dropped by these monkeys are especially valuable for making gear. Thinking that, he tells his skeletons that from now on, they will hunt every last monkey monster. But hours of effort and their hard work, nothing has dropped. The hero feels disappointed but knows the hunt isn't over. As he focuses on this, another armored man suddenly appears and immediately recognizes him as Jaehyun Mask. Noticing the guy's expensive fire lizard gear and a massive orc sword, the hero understands that this guy must be at least level 70. The man introduces himself as Quixote, and by demonstrating some of his skills, he challenges our hero to an official duel. He brags that he has heard about the hero's popularity on social media and wants to defeat him to gain fame. The hero realizes that this guy is just an attention-seeking fool, so he moves back on his way. But the guy insists on the fight, offering 5,000 gold as a reward. Hearing the amount, our hero feels interested and agrees to the duel. The guy then thinks to himself that, because of his talent, he is always the center of attention in any game he plays. But in Warlord, no one seems to notice him. One day, while in town, he overhears people talking about Jaehyun Mask, the boy who has become extremely popular on social media. Feeling embarrassed, Quixote rushes into the forest alone, frustrated that a lower-level player with mediocre gear is getting all the fame. As he is angry, he notices the same popular boy, our hero, completing tasks in the forest. An idea strikes him that if he records a video of himself defeating the boy, he could steal all the fame. Recalling that, he removes all his armor and gear, to which our hero feels confused. He explains that he wants the fight to be fair, claiming he knows the hero's sword is broken, so he is taking off his own equipment. Then he lunges at the hero with bare hands, but the hero effortlessly dodges every attack. As the guy notices that the hero isn't taking the fight seriously, and is only defending himself, he activates his booster skill. He delivers a powerful punch that sends the hero crashing into a nearby tree. The hero gets surprised by the speed and force of the guy's movements. He realizes that Booster is a warrior class skill that allows the user to accelerate their actions for a brief moment. He knows that with this skill, he has little chance of winning in a straight fight. As he stands up, the guy charges again to strike with the same boosted speed. Noticing the situation, the hero quickly throws dirt into the guy's eyes, to which the guy gets blinded for a moment. Seeing an opening, he kicks his legs and by landing multiple blows, he throws him back. At that moment, the hero activates a skill he recently acquired using his earnings and enhances his combat abilities significantly. He leaps forward to attack, to which the guy realizes that a single hit from him now would be fatal. So he quickly accepts defeat and begs the hero to spare his life. The hero agrees but delivers a powerful punch to a nearby tree, to which the whole tree gets destroyed instantly. The hero remarks that, having won the challenge, the guy must now pay the promised reward of 5,000 gold. The guy removes his helmet and praises the hero by acknowledging his strength and skill. He hands over the gold and, as a further gift, he offers his own orc sword. The hero gets surprised about this and asks why he would give such valuable items for free. The guy tells him to accept it as a token of his gratitude. He admits that in his pursuit of fame, he had neglected to actually grow stronger. He says the hero has made him realize his mistakes. He declares that he will consider the hero his own brother from now on. Understanding the guy's true motives, the hero kicks him back and orders his skeleton companions to subdue him. The skeletons follow the instructions and tie the guy to the tree. Doing this, the hero and his companions continue on their path. The hero marvels at the orc sword he now possesses, knowing he no longer needs to hunt the monkey monsters for better gear. But he still feels greedy and considers hunting more for potential rewards. However, his skeletons stop him and urge him to just focus on the next quest. After some time, the hero returns to the NPC who hands him the reward for completing the quest. The NPC notes that the hero has defeated 950 monkeys, wondered for wolves and 76 poison lizards. He remarks that the investigation has been progressing smoothly thanks to the hero's work. The NPC then briefs him on the next mission, warning that it will be especially dangerous. He points to a location on the map near the mountain peak. He explains that a bear warrior has appeared there. Bear warriors stand around 4 meters tall and wear armor similar to human warriors. The NPC tells the hero that discovering where these monsters obtain their weapons could be key to uncovering the identity of the corrupt one. The hero understands that he is expected to defeat them and bring back one of their weapons. The NPC asks if the hero can handle the mission alone, as even rangers struggle against these monsters. But the hero assures him that he knows how to deal with them. Afterward, the hero enters the mountain area and tells his companions that it's time to make some upgrades. He opens his auction window in the system and purchases the skeleton snake set for himself. With the purchase, the hero's abilities increase significantly, though he spends a large portion of his money. He also buys several skill books with the remaining funds. He notes that he is still a bit below the bear warrior's level, but with this equipment and knowledge, he should be fine. While he is busy in this all, his skeletons ask him if he can buy something for them too. The hero agrees, but when he tries, he realizes he is out of money again. The skeletons feel disappointed, but the hero reassures them that once he earns more, he will get items for them as well. At that moment, he notices some pig monsters roaming nearby. He orders the skeletons to attack, knowing they can drop some gold. The skeletons leap forward and quickly defeat many of the pigs. After a while, only one pig remains, and the skeletons begin playing with it. The hero orders them to finish it quickly instead of wasting time. Suddenly, a laser strike kills the last pig. The hero wonders who could have done it. At this moment, 3 men appear and question why he is hunting in this area without permission. They introduce themselves as members of the Apollo Guild, commenting that they are the guild's strongest trio. However, our hero does not hear them, and by using his sword skill, he defeats the 3 of them instantly. Doing this, he continues forward on his journey. From behind, the trio feel angry. They immediately send a message to their guild leaders, demanding revenge for being humiliated. When the leader receives the news, he also feels angry. He orders his subordinates to capture the boy at any cost, commenting that the hero will pay for his actions. Meanwhile, the hero arrives at the area where the bear warrior is known to appear. He glances at his skeleton companions and notices them making playful poses. He scolds them and reminds them of the seriousness of the mission. Today, they are tasked with hunting a bear warrior, a formidable level 70 monster with 3 distinct phases. He emphasizes the need for careful preparation and coordination. The hero explains that defeating this bear warrior will give them a significant advantage, potentially putting them ahead of the top 30 guilds in main quest progression. He makes it clear to his skeletons that there is no space for mistakes on this mission. As he describes the plan to his skeletons, a massive bear warrior suddenly emerges. The hero immediately prepares for the battle by activating his slot on skill. Meanwhile, Hatch, a mage from the Thunder Hunters Guild, approaches the Bulkest Mountains. He hopes Heiho Mask is still in the area as he has watched his last video of the monkey monster raid. The mage feels frustrated with himself as he is supposed to be an important player, yet his seniors have sent him here to deal with a newbie. As he mutters to himself, a level 65 pig boss suddenly appears and charges at him to attack. The mage does not scare at all, and by using his fire magic, he kills the monster on the spot. Actually, he isn't just a normal mage, he is a rank 5 mage and warlord and a valued member of the Thug Ladies Guild. Meanwhile, the hero stands in front of the huge bear warrior. He recalls that before his regression, he and his guild had attempted this raid 6 times and barely managed to defeat it. He knows that if he fails again, someone else might overtake him in the main quest. Observing the bear, he realizes that to land an effective hit, he must target the seams in its armor and strip its equipment. He instructs his skeletons to act only on his signal. Then he activates his new skill, Muscle Modification, which allows him to move quickly through the air. To his surprise, he struggles to control the skill's full power. At that moment, the bear destroys all of his skeletons. Seeing the danger, the hero activates his acceleration skill and lunges at the bear, attempting to push it down. When he collides with it, the bear does not get any injury and throws him away. Our hero realizes that he still cannot control the muscle modification skill properly. Despite the difficulty, he notices that he has managed to strip one side of the bear's armor. The bear lunges at the hero again and delivers multiple strikes, but he dodges them effortlessly. He then activates his bone bomb skill and throws a powerful explosive at the bear. A huge blast happens there, but to his surprise, the beast is still alive. Realizing that direct attacks will not work, he changes his strategy. He summons his previously defeated skeletons, declaring that he will now fight like a proper necromancer. He also summons the golem, who immediately starts fighting with the bear. When the bear slashes the golem's arm with its sword, the hero uses a hardening technique on the golem's body, to which the sword gets stuck. Getting the opportunity, he orders his skeletons to attack the bear. They slash at its armor repeatedly, and the hero commands the skeleton mage to cast fire magic. The mage unleashes a powerful spell on the bear, but the hero gets caught in the attack as the mage miscalculates his positioning. As the bear prepares another strike, the hero throws multiple bombs on its body. With some effort, the hero finally succeeds in defeating the monster. The system announces that he has gained experience points and earned a significant amount of gold. The hero feels good by thinking that the monster he just defeated was the one that had challenged the entire guild, yet he managed to solo it. He tells his skeletons that it's time to return to the NPC and begin the next quest. Meanwhile, in a tavern in Bulka's town, the mage from the Thug Ladies Guild sits alone. He feels bad as he has been combing the mountains for days, but Hi-Ho Mask remains nowhere to be found. He worries that returning empty-handed to the guild will make the Thug Lady angrier, but he knows that searching the entire mountain alone is no simple task. Lost in thoughts, he gets stunned when he receives a call from the Thug Lady. She reassures him that he has done well so far and admits that she gave him too much to handle alone. To help him, she has sent Hi-Hi, the princess of the guild, to assist him. Before he can react, the tavern wall explodes as the princess arrives. The Thug Lady informs the mage that from now on, they will work together. The princess feels angry to see him and scolds him as it's his fault she had to come all this way. Meanwhile, as the hero notices that Bulkas now has a town, he realizes that people have begun to understand this area as part of the main quest. Activating his speed skill, he moves quickly toward the NPC. On the way, he sees 3 men are approaching him. He recognizes them as thugs from the Apollo Guild, here to take revenge for their defeated companions. As our hero does not have much time to waste, he tells them to attack him all at once. To a surprise, the 3 men start running, as the mage and the princess from the Thunder Hunters Guild are chasing them. The princess uses her power that defeats 3 of them instantly. Turning to the hero, she asks if he is Hi-Hi Mask. He recognizes both of them as underlings of the Thug Lady and remembers their strength from his previous life. Realizing they are here to recruit him because he is the famous Hi-Ho Mask, he pretends ignorance and denies knowing who Hi-Ho Mask is. Seeing his behavior, the princess comments that he is lying. She says there's no way someone wandering around the Bulkas Mountains would not know Hi-Ho Mask, especially since his video has surpassed 20 million views. As she speaks, the mage tells her she is overreacting. He reminds her that she destroyed a tavern and harmed innocent people simply because they seemed suspicious. He asks how they are going to handle this, as they are members of the most prominent guild. Following his orders, the princess apologizes to the hero and steps back. The mage also offers his apology, but suddenly the princess gives a powerful punch to the hero's face, to which he crashes back. Getting shocked, the mage demands to know why she attacked. She replies that she expected the boy to dodge, but he didn't. The hero stands up and warns that since they struck an unarmed person, he will officially file a complaint against the Thunder Hunters Guild. The mage gets surprised to hear this and assures him not to do so as they will give him 1,000 gold as compensation. The hero accepts the money, and the mage forcefully drags the princess away as she is causing too much trouble. On the way, the mage scolds the princess, asking why she always causes a scene and warning that her behavior only tarnishes their guild's reputation. The princess says most people would not even try to dodge a flying punch, but that boy had, and that surprised her. Meanwhile, the hero reaches the NPC and hands over a piece of the bear warrior's armor. The NPC examines it and remarks that something unusual must be happening in the mountains. He thanks the hero, noting that many lives would have been lost if the mission hadn't been completed. The NPC then opens a box filled with maps and allows the hero to choose one as a reward. He explains that these are maps he created while exploring the Balkans Mountains, marking all the monster dens he encountered. The hero gets amazed as these maps are invaluable, revealing dungeons packed with rare loot and powerful gear. Just as the hero is about to select a map, the NPC stops him and requests one more favor. He explains that armored monsters have started appearing beyond the Balkans Mountains as well, and he needs the hero to investigate that area too. The hero agrees to take on the task, but he gets stunned when the NPC tells him the next destination is Parayong Forest. Stepping outside, he mutters to himself that Parayong Forest is a level 90 hunting ground, so he'll need to raise his own level along the way. He also notes that he must defeat some level 75 monsters at Sora Canyon. Feeling confident, he reminds himself that he can handle it now as he has already defeated the bear warrior. Meanwhile, the mage contacts the thug lady, explaining that he can no longer travel with the princess because she makes everything difficult. He adds that he genuinely wants to help with the mission, but he has heard that Red Bulls have already claimed Sora Canyon. He suggests that if this is true, they should focus solely on the main quest. The thug lady gives her approval for them to stop tracking Hyamask and return. After ending the call, she remarks to herself that the strongest are bound to cross paths eventually, so she is curious to see how long the boy Hyamask can keep running from her. Meanwhile, the hero defeats a level 75 goat monster and easily reaches level 62. He thinks that with just a little more leveling, he'll be ready to head straight into Parayong Forest. As he focuses on this, a crowd in the town suddenly surrounds him as they are his true fans. He starts running and wonders about why this is happening to him. Actually, the bear warrior video he uploaded has gone viral, which explains their excitement, but it also makes hunting properly impossible. Seeing the situation, he tells his skeletons to change plans and head straight for the center of Sora Canyon. Upon reaching the canyon's entrance, he gets surprised to see the leader of the Red Bull standing there. The leader greets him and recognizes him as the boy he met back in the beginner village. He compliments the hero on his rapid progress, noting that in just a few months, he has already reached Sora Canyon. The hero asks why the leader is here, pointing out that this area isn't a hunting ground for a top-ranked player like him. The leader explains that, as of yesterday, his guild has claimed this entire area and now needs to establish a base nearby to continue the main quest. He adds that he also came here to meet Hyamask. Hearing that name, the hero gets surprised. The leader says he has seen a video of Hyamask's bear warrior, which means it must be lurking somewhere around this region. While the leader talks, the hero suddenly starts running, insisting that he has no idea who Hyamask is. He feels bad as everyone keeps chasing him, making it impossible for him to level up properly. He decides to change his hunting grounds, but then remembers the map the NPC gave him. He is certain it contains dungeon locations. Opening the map, he feels relieved when he spots a rare dungeon near a waterfall. He heads straight there and dives into the water, knowing the dungeon entrance is hidden below. The system warns him that he has only 20 seconds to find the gate. He searches quickly and just before time runs out, he manages to enter inside the dungeon successfully. He arrives in a completely different location and notices that there are no other players anywhere. He feels good since now he can hunt freely without interruptions. He looks around, wondering what kind of monsters appear in this dungeon, considering how rare this place is. He expects something strong, but then he spots a small slime nearby, to which he feels embarrassed as it's just a low-level creature. As he moves closer, he notices a flame burning inside the slime's body. He gets surprised as this is an elemental-type monster. Elemental monsters are among the rarest in Warlord, and their drops are essential for crafting elemental gear, making them incredibly valuable. Realizing he has hit a jackpot, he commands his skeletons to attack. Before they can reach the slime, a level 70 salamander appears and throws a fire attack at the hero, but he dodges the flames swiftly. Noticing the situation getting worse, he activates the Madness Hell mode on one of his skeletons. To boost it even further, he uses the orc skull enhancement. The skeleton transforms completely and turns into a powerful skeleton knight. The moment he gives the order to attack, the skeleton knight leaps forward and slices both the salamander and the elemental slime into pieces. After that, 3 more salamanders appear. But when the hero gives the order, the skeleton cuts them down as well. Watching this, the hero gets amazed as with just 1 upgraded skeleton, they can already hunt on their own. And since salamander essence is far more valuable than he expected, the profit easily covers the upgrade cost. He decides that he only needs to repeat this process until every skeleton is upgraded. He instructs his skeletons to keep moving forward and clear the boss so they can head to Pyrian Forest. But after an hour of searching, the boss is nowhere to be found. Instead, he discovers an instant dungeon. He feels bad as he does not know what's waiting inside. And once he enters, there's no turning back. If he fails, he'll be locked out of the game for 2 days, more than enough time for either the Thunder Hunters or the Red Bulls to pull ahead in the main quest. Even so, he realizes he has no other option. Relying on his luck, he steps into the instant dungeon to hunt down the monster. As he looks around, he notices rows of knight statues, and each one has a blade mark on them. As he feels confused about the strange room, he suddenly notices the boss knight seated on the throne. Realizing the situation is getting dangerous, he quickly orders his skeletons to form a defensive line. But before they can follow the instructions, the boss knight moves with incredible speed and cuts down every skeleton in an instant. The hero gets surprised as he has never expected this monster to appear here. It's a spirit knight, a creature known for having one of the highest level battle AIs in the game. He has faced it once before in his previous life, at this exact same level. But back then, his entire guild was wiped out. He had no choice but to give up. This time, he refuses to repeat that mistake. He summons his skeletons again and charges at the spirit knight. The knight blocks both his attack and the senior skeleton strike effortlessly. When another skeleton finds an opening and drives its sword into the knight's back, the hero expects at least some damage. But nothing happens. Instead, the knight releases a powerful shockwave, which defeats the skeleton, and sends both the hero and the senior skeleton back. The hero realizes that normal skeletons or even the golem are useless against this enemy, remembering the desperate battles of his previous life, and how he managed to defeat far stronger monsters. He forces himself to fight. He leaps at the spirit knight alone and unleashes multiple slashes. But to his shock, the knight's speed suddenly increases, and it gives some serious injuries to him. While fighting, the hero manages to block one of the knight's strikes. That brief opening is enough for the senior skeleton to rush in and slice off the knight's arm. Meanwhile, in Surak Canyon Village, the leader of the Red Bulls walks through town with his girlfriend. He admits that the village is doing better than he expected. She tells him it's because he is the one managing the area now. She mentions that they've also secured a stable supply route, so they will not be short on resources anytime soon. At that moment, the leader's curiosity about Hae-Ho-Mask rises again. His girlfriend insists that the boy is just a normal hunter who takes down low-level monsters. But the leader comments that the monsters may be low-level, but the way that boy defeats them is unbelievable. He explains that in this game, where players can actually feel pain, only 2 kinds of people dare to fight monsters stronger than themselves. These are the reckless ones and the trueborn warriors. And Hae-Ho-Mask is both. Inside the dungeon, the hero feels relief when the senior skeleton cuts off the knight's arm. But then suddenly he watches the spirit knight form a new sword arm. He does not hesitate and leaps forward to strike again. Before he can reach it, the knight slams its blade into the ground, which causes a destructive shockwave. Despite the impact, both the hero and the skeleton land several slashes on the knight's body. Noticing their relentless attacks, the knight gets angry and suddenly leaps at the hero. The hero tries to block, but the force is overwhelming. The knight strikes his chest, to which he crashes back. As the knight is going for a finishing strike, the senior skeleton rushes in and takes the damage on itself. Seeing the skeleton sacrifice itself, the hero gets angry. He quickly throws multiple bombs at the knight and comments that he just needs one final push to win. But when the smoke clears, the knight stands alive. He reminds himself that elemental monsters barely take damage from magic. That's why he mixed skeleton fragments into the bombs. Activating the fragments ability, he summons a swarm of skeletons that grab the knight tightly. Seeing the opportunity, the hero leaps forward, and by delivering multiple powerful blows, he finally kills the spirit knight. Doing this, the hero earns many rewards and a lot of money. He summons his senior skeleton, who checks on the condition of the remaining skeletons. The hero praises them for their efforts, to which the skeletons also feel good. Still, he feels puzzled about why he is still in the dungeon after defeating the boss. Just then, a treasure room suddenly opens in front of him. Getting amazed, he steps inside and finds a book containing the main quest story bait, something he has already read thoroughly before his regression. Feeling embarrassed about the reward, he prepares to leave, but a strange light erupts from the corner, signaling for another prize. Soon after, he arrives at Young Forest. Feeling confident that his level is now appropriate, he declares that it's time to begin the main quest. He summons all of his skeletons, now fully upgraded like his senior skeleton. This is thanks to the treasure room reward, an incredibly powerful skill called armament, which allows him to equip his summons with user gear. He thinks about how much stronger his skeletons will become with this skill. As he speaks to his skeletons, 3 men suddenly appear. They introduce themselves as members of the R2 family, but the hero ignores them and continues on his path. They call him and insist he at least hear them out. They explain that they are training in Young Forest, aiming to reach level 100, but the monsters here are too strong for them alone. They've been searching for party members, but no one has agreed to join. Once again, they plead with the hero to team up with them, but the hero beats them up and tells them that he has no intention of working with anyone, saying that he moves on. The 3 men feel bad as their last hope is also gone. As they are unsure of what to do next, they receive a help request from the Toon family, whom they had met before. Meanwhile, the hero encounters an ogre in the forest. He orders his skeletons to strike immediately, to which they agree. Moving swiftly, the skeletons tear the ogre to pieces in an instant. By the time he is done, the hero has defeated a total of 55 ogres at that spot. After facing the spirit knight, he finds most monsters far too easy now. Feeling confident, he remembers his ongoing quest to find armored monsters. Yet, despite his efforts, he has not found any trace of them so far. He realizes he can't afford to waste time like this, as the top 30 guilds have surely already begun the main quest line. He considers asking the R2 family for information, but he does not want to work with anyone. As he is thinking this, suddenly he hears an explosive noise. When he investigates, he gets stunned to see that the sound comes from armored monsters engaged in battle with the R2 family. Amid the chaos, the family leader spots the boss of the monsters who is directing his underlings to attack. His companions frantically cast fire magic to hold the enemies off for as long as possible. They report that the Toon family has been almost completely wiped out and insist that they cannot face this many monsters alone. So retreat seems the only option. Assessing the situation, the leader acknowledges that their chances of defeating the monsters are extremely slim. Still, he resolves that they must use every remaining drop of mana to create an escape route and give the Toon family a chance to survive. The leader leaps at the monsters to hold them off and gives his companions time to escort the Toon family to safety. But one of the monsters lands a powerful punch to which the leader crashes back. As the monster is going to crush him, the hero suddenly appears. Using his power, he cuts down the monster instantly. The leader gets surprised, but the hero clarifies that he isn't here to help. He is here to make sure the guys do not steal his kills. When he commands his skeletons to attack, they move with incredible speed and cut through the remaining monsters effortlessly. The leader is stunned as he has never seen a necromancer whose summons obey so perfectly. But the hero's skeletons operate on an entirely different level. When the last monster falls, the system notifies the hero that he has gained experience points. Feeling satisfied, he knows that the real challenge is still ahead. The boss of these monsters. As the boss monster prepares to attack, the R2 family warns each other that the boy has no chance of surviving. They get shocked when they notice the monster's black and red marbled eyes. It is a clear sign that this monster is linked to the main quest. They explain that corrupted monsters are 3 times stronger than normal ones, and there's no way the hero could defeat it alone. Ignoring their warnings, the hero leaps at the monster and delivers multiple strikes. The monster feels angry, but the hero activates his powerful skill and defeats it instantly. The R2 family also gets stunned by what they have just witnessed. The system notifies the hero that he has earned a huge sum of money from the kill and gained a level. He thinks that now he only needs to return to the NPC and continue the main quest. But first, he considers how the monster's drops will be divided. There were 20 black orcs and 1 hellmoker, meaning the rewards are enormous. However, he knows that the player who strikes the monster first gets to decide how the loot is split, and that chance has already gone to the R2 and Toon families. He recalls that while the families were struggling against the monsters, he had been watching them from a distance. But when he sensed the danger, he couldn't hold back and jumped into the fight on his own. As he reflects on this, the R2 family approaches him and thanks him for his unexpected help. They start taking pictures with him. The hero then asks if they plan to split the monster drops. Hearing this, the R2 leader asks the Toon family's senior member that if he wants any of the loot, the man is going to claim some, but the R2 leader comments that since Homask handled everything, the best reward should go entirely to him. After that, the hero continues on his path and thinks about the R2 family's earlier offer to join them, but he has refused the offer once more. He realizes that playing with them might be fun, but if he did, he would never become the strongest version of himself. As he has to face the top 30 guilds alone, he orders his skeletons to move quickly because they have to finish this quest and advance to the next one. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the thug lady has successfully defeated the bear warrior. At that moment, her underlings, the princess and the mage, arrive. They report that they have 2 pieces of important news. First, 2 of the top 30 guilds, Triple Wing and Big Smile, have started a war. It began when a senior member of Big Smile clashed with a Triple Wing member during a raid. Since then, both guilds have poured massive resources into the conflict. Hearing this, the thug lady feels bad as a war at such a critical time and the main quest line is not good. Then the mage delivers the second piece of information that the boy Homask has defeated the Helmagor. She gets surprised and realizes they need to accelerate their progress as well. She orders them to head to the NPC Ma1 to pick up the next quests. Meanwhile, at Bangsu Castle, the hero meets with his boss Ahimbri once again. The boss praises him for completing his mission flawlessly and mentions that the NPC has instructed him to reward the hero with a secret order ring. The hero feels embarrassed as everything has been going smoothly so far. He recalls visiting the NPC who first told him to join the secret order mission, understanding the value of the ring, which grants significant stat boosts. He agrees to the boss's demand. The NPC then tells him that if he truly wants to join the secret order, he must return to his boss Ahimbri. The hero gets stunned, but the NPC explains that the boss is also a member of the secret order and can grant him the emblem. Recalling that, the hero stands on his hands with the boss's demand, as by doing this, he will receive the ring. Once he obtains it, the boss approves the next mission, noting that this assignment will make the hero even stronger as it leads him into the war zone. Arriving at the gate of the war zone, the hero surveys the area. He knows that here, an endless stream of monsters pours in from beyond the castle walls. The waves come continuously for a limited time, making this far more dangerous than a normal raid. But the rewards are based on how many monsters one can defeat, and that excites him. He has wanted to enter this place since before his reincarnation, but his old guild never agreed to come. As he observes, a girl secretly watches him, reporting to her senior that she has found the boy. Meanwhile, the leader of the Apollo Guild feels angry at one of his subordinates for failing to capture the hero. The worker explains that the Thunder Hunters suddenly interfered. That's why they can't capture the boy. Feeling angry, the leader assumes that Homask might be connected to the Thunder Hunters. He calls the senior of the Big Smile Guild and asks for a favor that he wants them to teach the boy a lesson. When the senior of Big Smile asks why he should get involved, the leader mentions that Homask has dared to attack his guild and has not even apologized. The Big Smile senior initially refuses, insisting that his guild is too large to get involved in such a petty matter. Hearing this, the Apollo leader warns him that if Big Smile refuses, he will immediately cut off all sponsorship and funding to their guild. Getting shocked by this threat, the Big Smile Sr. quickly agrees to carry out the task. Ending the call, he feels confused as refusing the job could cost his guild too much financially, but attacking the hero will ruin his guild's reputation. Just then, the girl who has been secretly observing our hero's movements approaches him. She is actually a reserve member of Big Smile and offers her help in taking down the hero. The senior realizes that this is a way to protect the guild's image while still dealing with the problem. The girl assures him that she will do everything in her power to eliminate the boy. Meanwhile, all the participants gather in front of the battlefield gate, including the hero. The castle captain starts explaining the rules. He announces that the gate will soon open and warns that beyond the walls lies a lawless zone, crawling with monsters. He mentions that the castle gates will remain closed for the next 14 hours, and rewards will be distributed based on how many monsters each participant defeats during that time. In addition to the general rewards, the captain announces special missions for defeating different types of monsters. The hero is assigned a blue giant monster, with the prize being a unique skill book. He gets amazed to see this as the unique skill books grant rare and high-rank skills, and he has only seen a few in his entire past life. As he talks about the reward, others nearby overhear him, and they feel greedy about this reward. The moment the gate opens, the hero immediately activates his speeding skill and rushes into the battlefield as he wants to defeat the monsters before anyone else can reach them. Seeing this, the other participants grow angry and decide to chase after him. But just then, the Big Smile assistant girl appears and offers to lead them as a team. One of the men says that she is a newbie and couldn't possibly defeat the hero on her own. To everyone's shock, she delivers a powerful strike to the man and throws him aside. She explains that she knows everyone wants the unique skill book, and if they follow her orders, she will make sure they get it after the hero is defeated. Hearing this, the group accepts her as their leader, and they head into the battlefield together. From a distance, the hero watches them quietly. He realizes they've formed a team solely to take him down. He feels bad as he was already planning to focus on hunting monsters, and now he has to deal with these thugs as well. Still, there is no problem for him as he has already found a way to handle them. The girl feels pride as she rallies so many people under her command. She dreams of the moment she defeats the hero, imagining the Big Smile leader recognizing her efforts, and officially welcoming her into the guild. In her mind, her subordinates treat her like a queen. Suddenly, the noise of approaching monsters snaps her back to reality. She gets shocked to see an overwhelming number of powerful monsters charging toward them. She quickly orders her team to prepare, instructing them to take down the monsters one by one. The group feel confused as they have never seen waves this large. Then she notices the hero in the corner and is beating a drum. She understands that he is the one who is luring these monsters at them by using the drum. As the monsters overwhelm the thugs, they struggle to fight back and plead with the girl for permission to retreat. She's caught in the chaos herself, frustrated that her plan has completely ruined. Still, she orders them to hold their ground, insisting that once the ringleader is defeated, the monster wave will subside. She turns her attention to the hero, deciding to confront him directly. Using her skill, she leaps at him and strikes him back. But the hero doesn't get any injury and asks if she knows him, admitting he doesn't remember her face clearly. She avoids the question, claiming she simply wants to eliminate a rival for the unique skill book in advance. The hero tries to strike her with his sword, but she blocks it effortlessly. He notes that she seems surprisingly indifferent about the skill book. They engage in combat and the hero throws a bomb at her, but she also dodges this attack easily. Seeing her movements, he asks again about her group. She refuses to answer and comments that if he's so curious, he'll have to figure it out himself. With that, she activates her slot on skill, to which she gains powerful armor and enhances her abilities. The hero thinks that if he defeats her now, he'll never learn where she comes from. But letting his guard down is too risky, as she is extremely dangerous. She notices the skeletons standing behind her, but the hero reassures her that they won't interfere as they've been instructed to stay out of the fight. She lunges at him with full force, but he blocks her strike effortlessly. She follows up with multiple blows to his body, to which the hero feels pain. She declares that he must die for defying her leader, Hibabin. As she leaps for another attack, a skeleton suddenly intercepts with its leg, causing her to fall down. Hearing the name of her leader, the hero realizes she belongs to the Big Smile Guild. He strikes her lightly with his sword, then binds her with a stone. He asks why her guild is targeting him, but she refuses to answer. He notes that he knows she is a subordinate of the Smile Guild. Getting surprised, she asks how he has figured it out. The hero simply thinks to himself that he knows because this is his second life, and experience has taught him well. He asks her again about why her guild is targeting him. She admits she doesn't know the full reason, telling him to just kill her if he wants. But the hero rejects, saying he can't do that as it would be a waste to let someone like her die. At that moment, he receives a notification that the blue giant has just spawned. Without releasing her, he turns to complete the mission. From behind, she feels embarrassed as not only has the hero seen through her plan, but he also went a step further and even spared her life. After that, she calls her leader and admits that she failed to deal with Hyamask. After ending the call, the leader gets worried, realizing that even his most trusted subordinate could not complete the mission. At the same time, he receives a call from the senior of the Apollo Guild, who states that he knows the Big Smile Guild has failed to defeat the boy. He warns that if word of this gets out, the Big Smile Guild's reputation could be completely ruined. The leader of the Big Smile feels angry as this all has happened just because of the hero. Meanwhile, the hero locates the blue giant, and after a hard-fought battle, he manages to bring it down. He is now completely exhausted, as the monster's power feels closer to a level 100. Even so, he feels relieved knowing that the thugs who planned to ambush him ended up dying on their own. If they had survived, they might have stolen this reward as well. He wonders why the Big Smile Guild is targeting him, especially when he has never crossed paths with them. Thinking back to his previous life, he remembers how his own guild rose too quickly, causing the guilds ranked around the 30s to unite against him. At the center of that conspiracy was the Thug Lady, the leader of the Thunder Hunters. Realizing this, he suspects that she might be behind this situation as well. But he decides that anyone who stands in his way will be dealt with the same way he deals with monsters. Checking the timer, he sees that 138 hours remain for the Warzone mission, so he rushes deeper inside to hunt as many monsters as possible and gather rewards. When the event finally ends and the gate reopens, the surviving participants walk out looking frustrated. They regret following the girl's lead, realizing that her plan only pushed them into failure. As they talk among themselves, they notice the hero standing nearby, now carrying a lot of money earned from the mission. He remarks that he knows they haven't earned a single coin this time, but reassures them that they will succeed next time. At that moment, the girl from Big Smile's guild watches him secretly again, but she feels some love for him. Soon, the castle captain announces the hero as the top performer of the mission and calls him to his office. When the hero arrives, the captain praises him, noting that he defeated the most monsters and even a blue giant. He explains that recently, strange monsters have been appearing more frequently, creatures with blue skin that radiate an icy aura, like the blue giant the hero just defeated. The captain mentions that these monsters seem to be coming from the snowy mountains beyond. As he listens, the hero realizes the captain is essentially describing the Frozen Kingdom map within the battleground, though he already knows this. The captain then begins to speak about the mission's reward, but mentions that before they proceed, there is a message from the hero's boss. The captain tells him that his boss has ordered him to go to the Urgal mountain range and meet with the blacksmith. Hearing this, the hero realizes that the Urgal mountain range is teeming with high-level monsters. The captain then hands him the promised reward, a unique skill book. The hero feels curious about what skill it might grant him. As he places his hand on the book, the system prompts him to learn the clayplay skill, to which he gets surprised. Meanwhile, the Thug Lady of the Thunder Hunters Guild is standing in the forest. She angrily delivers a devastating strike that shatters the surroundings. The guild's mage remarks that a group of unknown people suddenly appeared while her guild was fighting and stole the main quest monster. She demands to know who they are. The mage notes that they don't seem to belong to any of the top 30 ranked guilds. The Thug Lady orders that their descriptions be recorded, a bounty placed on them, and that no one be allowed near the next boss monster spawn. She swears that since they stole her prey, she will hunt them down and kill them all. Meanwhile, the group is enjoying their success and feeling satisfied with their actions. one of them suggests that they should also take out the Thunder Hunters Guild members. The Snake Girl warns that doing so would expose their identities, which could lead to serious trouble. At that moment, their senior, the Knight, arrives and reminds them that their mission is to maintain the game's balance from the shadows. He orders them not to forget the duty of their guild, the Hands Guild, to which everyone agrees. Another girl comments on the hero, noting how quickly he is clearing the main quest. The Knight mentions that their top priority is to prevent the top 30 ranked guilds from completing their main quests. The Snake Girl then tells everyone to stop chatting and get ready for the next mission, to which the group follows her instructions. Meanwhile, the hero studies the clay play skill and realizes that it allows him to transform his golem into different monsters. With this ability, flying, enhanced mobility, and new combat options all become possible. To test it, he uses the blue giant's tooth on his golem, a bright light bursts from the golem, and he waits eagerly to see the result. To his surprise, when the transformation finishes, the golem becomes a tiny version of the blue giant. The system explains that this happened because his rank is still too low. Accepting this, he heads toward Urgol village. He blames himself for expecting too much from the skill, but he also understands that a powerful ability like this won't reach its full potential so easily. He decides to raise the skill's rank slowly and focus on the main quest for now. Reading the quest to meet the blacksmith, he thinks about how well he knows that man. The blacksmith is part of the secret order and is the most famous craftsman in the game. Countless epic items with incredible stats were created by him. With that in mind, the hero reaches the blacksmith's home, only to find it empty. Suddenly the blacksmith appears from behind and strikes him with full force. Because of this, the hero's HP drops. The blacksmith comments that people these days are weak. He mentions that in his time, everyone was much stronger. The hero recognizes him and asks why he attacked him. The blacksmith replies that it was only a test, to which the hero feels confused about what kind of NPC randomly beat someone as a greeting. Before he can react, the system notifies him that he has earned 2 titles just by meeting this man. Getting surprised, the hero grabs the blacksmith and begs him to give him any task, claiming he wants to serve under him. The blacksmith gives him a pouch as a new quest. By throwing him out of the house, he orders him to deliver the pouch to Behind Forest. The hero doesn't feel upset as he knows this quest can reward him greatly. Reading the quest details, he realizes he will have to meet the elves in that forest. The problem is that elves are usually hostile toward humans and hide deep inside the woods, constantly moving to avoid being found. Thinking about how to handle this, the hero suddenly gets an idea. He begins beating drums in the center of town, announcing that he is buying information about Behind Forest. The act is embarrassing, but he has no better option. As he continues, a powerful figure named Pitbull Singh suddenly appears. Seeing him, the hero gets surprised as the guy is one of the top 100 rankers. The crowd also wonders about why such a high-ranked player has shown up. Some even whisper that he might be here to challenge the hero. The hero thinks back to his past life, remembering that he once fought this guy and managed to defeat him. But now, with his current low level, he isn't sure he can win if they end up fighting again. As people comment that the hero looks completely outmatched in front of this guy, the hero feels angry. The guy says he heard the hero is looking for information about Behind Forest. He assures him that he can tell him everything he wants to know. When the hero asks the price for that information, the guy replies that he wants to confess his love. Hearing this, everyone gets shocked as they assume that the guy intends to confess his love to the hero. After that, both the hero and the guy run into the forest, trying to escape the chaos behind them. The hero feels exhausted, to which the guy urges him to calm down. But the hero gets angry as this entire situation is the guy's fault. First, he made that shocking statement in front of everyone, and now the whole town is chasing them, assuming something completely different. The hero tells him directly that he plans to reject his confession. The guy gets stunned and explains the real situation that a few months ago, while hunting in this area, an elf girl appeared before him. He fell in love at first sight, but she disappeared as quickly as she came. Since then, he has waited in that same place for months, gathering every piece of information he could from residents and nearby NPCs. He searched all the spots where people claim to have seen elves, but he never found her again. Just when he was about to give up, he spotted the hero gathering information about elves. That is why he approached him, as he wants the hero's help in finding that elf girl. Hearing this all, the hero finally understands the situation. He knows he must finish his quest quickly, and this guy is the only person who has any real clues about the elves. With that in mind, he agrees to let him join and asks him to lead the way to the place where elves are most likely to appear. They eventually arrive at a waterfall. The guy explains that, based on all the information he has gathered from local residents, this waterfall is the location where elves are seen most often. The hero asks if monsters appear here as well. The guy confirms, mentioning that large monsters especially tend to show up in this area. The hero decides to start by hunting those monsters. At this moment, a massive level 90 snake monster emerges from the shadows. The guy prepares to fight, but the hero stops him and comments that he will handle it alone. He leaps at it to attack, but the monster strikes him hard, to which the hero crashes to the ground and starts crying. As the snake is going for another attack, some powerful arrows suddenly shoot out from the shadows, which kill the monster instantly. The hero then remarks that NPCs never fight monsters. Whenever they encounter danger, they simply run. That means the local residents must have been chased, and the mysterious helpers stepped in to save them. As he says this, the elf girls reveal themselves. They are the ones who defeated the snake monster, and the hero's dramatic performance earlier was only an act to draw them out. He introduces himself and explains that he has come on behalf of the blacksmith, requesting permission to visit the elves' village. But to his shock, the elf girls aim their arrows at him, accusing him of deceiving them. They insist that the blacksmith would never trust someone like him with such a task. At that moment, the other guy apologizes for misleading them. He tells their senior elf that he came to meet her specifically because they encountered each other once before in this forest, and he fell in love with her at first sight. When he confesses his feelings, she unexpectedly accepts them. She even agrees to guide both of them to her village. Seeing this all, the hero gets completely stunned. As they make their way toward the elf village, the hero warns the guy to be careful, as the pretty elf girls can be unpredictable. The guy clarifies that it's not because she's attractive. For him, elves represent fantasy itself. In the games he loved as a child, elves were always symbols of adventure and wonder. Exploring a world like that and adventuring alongside such companions was a lifelong dream. He then asks the hero if he's playing the game to chase a similar dream. The hero comments that he has no such fantasies. His only goal is to become the strongest in the game and crush anyone who ever looked down on him. The guy warns him that by chasing strength for revenge, he risks becoming just like those who once betrayed him. Hearing this, the hero gets angry and punches him hard. He shouts that those are the empty words of people obsessed with dreams and happiness. He asks if the guy even knows what it's like to struggle every day just to survive, only to have what little he has taken away in an instant. He mentions that he doesn't care what the guy's motives are, but he orders him to just stop lecturing him. As they both are busy in this, the elf orders them to stop causing a scene because they have finally reached the village. She explains that the village senior resides in the tallest tree. The hero asks her to lead him there. Upon arrival, she informs the senior that she has brought a human sent on behalf of the blacksmith. The senior observes that it seems to be a task meant for the secret task force. The hero confirms this and hands over the pouch the blacksmith had given him. As he does, the system notifies him that the quest is complete. When the senior opens the pouch, the hero gets stunned to see an epic item inside, a purification circuit. It is capable of removing all status effects and debuffs. Realizing this, the hero understands that the next quest will likely involve purifying a corrupted elf and uncovering the mastermind behind the second main quest. He also assumes that completing that mission will reward him with the purification circuit. However, to his surprise, the senior simply tells him to return as the mission is complete now. The hero asks if there is no more work for him, such as using the item to save someone. The senior replies that there is nothing further he can entrust to him as he is still too weak. The hero feels bad that he cannot take on the mission simply because of his low rank, but he decides to return after some serious training. He heads into the forest and begins defeating some powerful monsters. He realizes that the Thunder Hunters are likely the fastest progressing in the main quest, as they have recently defeated Helmegro and are probably already in the Urgol Mountains. This thought motivates him to fight swiftly, but he still feels frustrated as he should have reached at least level 100 by now. He also gets angry when he recalls the words of Pitbull Singh. While cutting through the monsters, he accidentally throws his own sword away because he is now totally exhausted by doing this. Meanwhile, the other guy explains the earlier misunderstanding to the elf girl. She gently suggests that he apologizes to the hero, saying it could easily resolve the tension between them. The guy agrees, and when he reaches the hero, he notices the monsters are going to attack him. Noticing the danger, he delivers a powerful punch that defeats the monsters instantly and saves the hero from harm. Doing this, the guy tells the hero that he has something to say. The hero assumes he might be here to fight him and orders his skeletons to attack. But when the guy sincerely apologizes for his earlier mistake, the hero quickly stops the skeletons. He tells him that if he truly wants to apologize, he must help him hunt monsters. As they talk, more monsters suddenly appear. The hero and the guy fight together and take them down. After several days of relentless hunting, the hero finally reaches level 100. The guy then says he will log out of the game, to which the hero agrees. Before leaving, the guy teases him again, which makes the hero angry once more. The hero then heads to the senior elf. Observing him, the elf remarks that the hero now seems capable of handling the next mission and hands him the purification circuit. The hero gets surprised as he has now received the next quest, Corrupted Elf. When he asks where he needs to go, the senior elf admits he doesn't know and leaves, because finding the route is our hero's responsibility from now on. After that, the hero begins searching for the corrupted elf, but he feels embarrassed as the map is enormous, and he can't complete the quest by wandering blindly. He thinks that just when he believed the level problem was solved, new challenges keep piling up. He mutters that he will need to gather information again, but public trades like last time are risky. Revealing keywords like corrupted elf for a main quest would attract swarms of curious players. Still, he isn't worried as he has his own methods. Although it isn't confirmed, he suspects that the corrupted elf's role is to raise armies of monsters. He gets a plan. By circulating notes offering to buy the locations of newly spawned monsters for money, uninformed players will bring him information without realizing his true goal. He can then compile all the data and use it to pinpoint the corrupted elf's location. As he publishes the post on his channel, the first informant suddenly approaches him. When he sees him, he gets shocked to see that the person is none other than the leader of the Red Bulls Guild. In fact, the leader had been with his team when his girlfriend noticed the new post by the boy known as Hi-Ho Mask. She points out that this time, the boy is asking for the locations of recently spawned monsters. Instantly, the leader realizes that hunting monsters is likely not the boy's true goal, as he may be aiming for something much bigger. So the leader tells his girlfriend that he will track down the boy and deal with him personally. At that moment, the hero feels frustrated. He had only planned to track down some low-ranking guild members, but now the leader of the Red Bulls has appeared out of nowhere. Deciding that the best thing is to quietly escape, he begins to move. But the leader stops him. Recognizing the danger, the hero summons his skeletons, who aim their swords at the leader. The leader warns him that if he had attacked, the hero would already be dead. The hero knows this is true, as he can sense the overwhelming power radiating from the leader. The leader then asks him to reveal his identity, noting that the hero possesses impressive physical abilities and a remarkable skill in gathering information. In response, the hero quickly starts acting, pretending to be a clueless newbie. He claims that he was only trying to find some information about monsters and knows nothing else. Observing his childish behavior, the leader comments that there seems to have been a misunderstanding. He then offers the hero a place in his guild, promising 5 billion in reward if he joins. Hearing about a lot of money, the hero feels greedy, but states that money alone cannot buy him. The leader then activates a powerful skill and warns him that he could kill him if he refuses to join the guild. Even so, the hero isn't scared at all, and again rejects the offer. He declares that he will not rely on anyone else's strength and that he will become the strongest on his own. He warns the leader that when he reaches that point, the first people he will crush are the leader and his companions. The leader sits on a cliff and tells the hero about the Red Lake, where there has been an explosive increase in newly spawned monsters. The hero asks why he is sharing this information with him, since they are supposed to be rivals. The leader explains that he does not see him as a rival. His guild is the strongest and bows to no one. He admits he is sharing the information only because he admires the hero's spirit for going solo. As the leader returns to his guild, the hero comments that if they are avoiding elf territories, they must be taking the dwarf route of the main quest and are likely at Salt Mountain. Hearing this, the leader mocks him, to which the hero feels angry but escapes from there. From behind, the leader tells his team that the boy they had considered recruiting is nothing special. However, he feels curious to see how far this boy can go on his own. Meanwhile, the hero arrives at Red Lake with his skeletons. He still feels embarrassed by the leader's words. At this moment, he notices his skeletons are playing in the red water. Seeing them, he recalls his own past when his party members also played in the same lake. Back then, he had been serious, telling them to focus on killing as many monsters as possible to level up. Thinking that, he orders his skeletons to stay on defense. While speaking to them, he suddenly notices a group of guys is approaching him, which includes one warrior, 2 mages, and a priest. He commands his skeletons to attack immediately. Before the skeletons can move, the group suddenly sits down in front of him. The hero feels confused about this and the guys beg for his help. The group explains that they need the hero's help to hunt the corrupted grey cockatrice. The hero asks why they can't handle it by themselves. They introduce themselves as the second raid team of Golden Brother, a fairly well-known guild considered one of the promising next-generation top 30 guilds, but they are treated like leftovers within it. The hero interrupts them, telling them not to waste time with their story and to simply explain what they need. They plead for his assistance, saying that if they fail, they will be kicked out of the guild. The hero initially rejects their request. They beg again, explaining that they have nowhere else to turn and even offer 20,000 gold. But the hero refuses as the reward is too small. Finally, they promise to give him every byproduct from the hunt. Hearing this, the hero feels interested and finally agrees to help. At that moment, they recall a past incident when they were caught by the Apollo Guild for taking a loan. They request the guild leader to give them some time. The guild leader gives them a chance that they must kill the boy Haeho Mask. The group gets stunned, unsure how they could possibly succeed against such a skilled player. The leader reassures them that he will provide top-tier equipment, insisting they must use it to eliminate the boy. He also warns them that if they fail to complete this mission, they will rot in the slave mine for lifetime. Recalling that, they realize that they have nowhere left to run. They make a plan that when the hero lets his guard down while fighting a strong monster, they will all strike together to take him down. At that moment, the corrupted grey cockatrice monster appears, whose level is 120. The hero tells the others that he will focus on stripping the monster's armor, so they will have to handle the rest. He channels his strength into his legs and leaps toward the creature. The cockatrice launches multiple feather strikes, but the hero dodges them effortlessly. Moving swiftly, he strikes repeatedly at the monster's armor and tears it away. Seeing this, the team gets surprised and the hero announces that all the monster's armor is gone, only the helmet remains. He leaps at its head for the final strike. At that moment, the group launches powerful fire attacks at him, hoping to kill him. Because of their attack, the corrupted grey cockatrice gets instantly defeated. They feel relief as according to them, the hero is dead, but to their shock our hero is still alive. He explains that he anticipated their betrayal as they are desperate and helpless, but they are using top-tier equipment to try to defeat the monster. Without hesitation, he activates his powerful skills and summons his skeleton companions. Leaping at those thugs, our hero declares that now they will all pay for their sins. The thugs attempt to cast more magic at the hero, but they get shocked when they realize the cockatrice is still alive. As the hero deals with them, the system suddenly alerts him that the corrupted elf has appeared nearby. He scans the area and notices she starts escaping. The hero orders his skeletons and the thugs group to hold off the cockatrice until he returns. Saying that, he himself starts chasing the elf. He sees this as his perfect chance. If he captures her now, he can save a huge amount of time on the quest and secure first place in the main story. He activates the speed skill, but feels confused as he still can't close the distance. He throws several bombs at her, which causes massive explosions, but she dodges them all easily. As the time is running out, he plants a bomb beneath his own feet. The explosion launches him forward at high speed, but just as he reaches her, he gets shocked to see the corrupted elf suddenly strike herself and collapse. Without wasting a time, he uses the purification circuit on her, to which she regains her senses. At that moment, she hands him a letter. The system notifies the hero that he has successfully completed the quest. He also notices that she has already vanished from the surface. He understands that her disappearance means the quest required her to end her own life once it was fulfilled. Meanwhile, the thugs are still struggling against the cockatrice, and the skeletons are not helping them. The hero arrives just in time, and by summoning his golem, he finishes off the cockatrice easily. The thugs apologize for betraying him and confess that the Apollo Guild ordered them to kill him. Hearing this, the hero feels confused about why the guild wants him dead by using such rare items. As he is thinking this, he realizes he must take action before things get worse. He orders the thugs to hand over everything they have, and tells them that from now on, each of them owes him 1 million gold every week. Meanwhile, at the Big Smile Guild, the leader is relaxing. An informer rushes in and reports that the Red Bulls Guild has just declared war on them. The leader gets stunned, and the informer mentions that the Red Bulls claim it is payback for attacking the boy Heiho mask. As the leader tries to process this, another informer arrives with more bad news. The unique items the leader had lent to the Apollo Guild a few days ago have suddenly appeared on the marketplace. When the leader demands to know who is selling them, the informer answers that it is none other than the Heiho mask. Meanwhile, walking through the forest, the hero thinks back to when he returned to the elder of the elf village after completing his quest. The elder asked him to leave the purification circlet behind. He also gave him the next mission to uncover the secret hidden at the location marked on the corrupted elf's keepsake. Remembering this, the hero realizes the keepsake refers to the letter the elf girl gave him. But when he opens it, the sentences look strange as they are written in a way a normal person can't understand. He realizes that he needs help from Pitbull Singh, the one person he knows who can read the elven language. He heads to meet him and gets stunned to find several elf girls serving him. When one of the girls complains that he doesn't love her, the guy gently replies that he loves everyone. Hearing this, the hero strictly asks why he is playing around with all these girls. The guy explains that, to stay in the elf village, he needs the villagers to like him, so he does whatever keeps them happy. The elf girls warn the hero to stay away from Pitbull, but the guy gently calms them down, assuring them that the hero isn't doing anything harmful. The hero then shows him the letter and asks him to translate it. After reading it, the guy explains that a place watched over by eagles likely means a high location, and a place with blue clouds must be referring to the blue mist in the forest. He tells the hero to stop gaming so much and read some books like he does, but the hero feels angry about this. Later, the hero stands alone in the deep forest. He feels embarrassed as he has always believed elves disliked humans, yet they seem to adore Pitbull Singh. At that moment, a level 110 Smogrian appears, but by moving swiftly, the hero takes it down instantly. Even after the fight, he feels uncertain as all he has encountered so far are Smogrians. He wonders whether he is even in the right place. He remembers the guy's warning to be cautious as after all, the Sweepers Guild, one of the top 30 guilds, controls this area. As he is thinking, a strange man suddenly steps out from the shadows and demands to know the hero's identity. With his power, the man changes the entire forest around them. The system identifies him as a corrupt comrade named Avon. The hero realizes that this means the man is connected to the main quest. The guy leaps at him, but the hero blocks the attack and forces him back. He then sends his skeletons to strike, but the guy destroys them easily. Feeling angry, the hero unleashes multiple strikes, but to his shock, every wound the guy receives heals instantly. The system warns the hero that physical attacks are useless against this creature. The hero orders his skeleton mage to attack next, but the guy leaps in and takes it down as well. Noticing the situation getting worse, the hero feels confused about how he is supposed to defeat such a powerful monster all by himself. Hey, Home Mask is still fighting the corrupt comrade, but the problem is that neither physical attacks nor magic attacks are working on him. Instead, the comrade swats everything away as if he is brushing off a fly. Even our hero is confused, because he has never faced someone like this in his previous life. For a moment, the mission feels like suicide, but then he remembers that he is the hero of this story, so he decides to go all out. He casts Skeleton Fragment Madness Helm, causing skeletal warriors to erupt from the ground, and follows it up with the Curse of Sloth Corrosion Spirit aimed directly at the comrade. However, hey, Home Mask once again underestimates his opponent. With only a few casual swings of his sword, the corrupt comrade wipes out every skeleton warrior in a single strike, as if they were nothing at all. Even our hero is shocked, but the corrupt comrade is far from finished. Once again, he leaps forward toward the hero. Hey, Home Mask blocks the attack and realizes that if the skeletons were not strong enough, then he will have to defeat the corrupt comrade himself. With that resolve, hey, Home Mask lunges forward. The monster fights back just as fiercely, and our hero finds it extremely hard to land even a single clean hit. He cannot strike him properly, and they clash and slide past each other again and again. Hey, Home Mask grows frustrated, so he summons a golem from the ground. The massive creature grips the corrupt comrade tightly in its hand, and our hero seizes this chance to strike. At the very last moment, the corrupt comrade drives his sharp sword straight through Home Mask's body, and blood spills out. Instead of panicking, our hero smirks, because this is exactly what he planned. He has already placed a curse on himself, and because of it, the comrade's movements become temporarily restricted. Home Mask then summons skeleton mages all around the corrupt comrade and declares that this time he has truly gone all out. With a single flick of his finger, the skeleton mages unleash a devastating blast on the comrade. After the explosion, Home Mask sits a short distance away, coughing heavily from exhaustion. A system notification appears, showing that he has completed the quest and earned the title Corruption Destroyer. Still, he feels frustrated because the war watch he collected does not take any physical damage. Even so, he feels grateful that he managed to defeat the monster because it was a truly difficult fight. He uses a health potion to restore himself, but then he notices movement in the ashes. Someone is emerging, and it is indeed the corrupt monster. Our hero pulls out his sword again, irritated and shocked that the enemy is still alive. The truth is that Home Mask is no longer in a condition where he can keep fighting. The comrade raises his sword, but instead of swinging it at Home Mask, he drives it into his own head and collapses onto the ground. Home Mask grows even more confused because the man has stabbed himself. At that moment, he hears the faint clinking sound of a broken mask falling away from the comrade's face, followed by a weak plea for mercy. The comrade begs our hero to kill him, asking him to end it before the power of corruption takes control of him once again. Seeing his fragile and exhausted face, our hero realizes that he is telling the truth. The comrade explains that he was once a member of the secret order, just like our hero. During a mission, he was captured by the force behind the corruption and subjected to unbearable torture. After that, he was brainwashed and turned into a monster. While trapped in that state, he killed countless beings without control. He says that he joined the secret order because he wanted to protect people, but instead, he became the very thing that harmed them. Home Mask steps closer and tells him that he is the strongest fighter Home Mask has ever faced, which means he must have been incredibly powerful back when he was still human. Our hero says clearly that the real enemy is the corruption itself, because the man in front of him is a victim trapped under hypnosis. He explains that if he uses the purification circuit, there is a chance he could heal him instead of killing him. The comrade laughs softly and says that he now understands that Home Mask is a good person, and he feels relieved knowing that. He grips our hero's hand, and before Home Mask can react, the comrade says his farewell. His body fades into thin air, leaving only his sword behind. A system notification appears, informing our hero that he has completed the side quest Inheritance. Home Mask realizes that this was yet another hidden quest, and this time he feels genuinely irritated with the game. On the other hand, Shia Seolian finally finishes dealing with the dragons. Even after the rampage ends, she remains frustrated because Home Mask is working with the Red Bulls instead of her clan, a clan that could give him everything he could ever want. As she sulks over this, her two clan members grow worried and confused. The boy believes that she only wanted to recruit talented players like our hero, but he realizes that this is not the truth. Jaehyun is obsessed with Haho Mask himself, and he does not like seeing her in this state. He suggests that they should return for now, but before he can even finish speaking, someone interrupts them. A knight approaches Jaehyun, saying that he needs to speak with her. The moment he appears, both clan members tense up, frustrated and unsettled, because they did not even sense him coming, but Jaehyun remains calm. She says that she has no reason to talk to someone she does not even know. At that moment, the man closes the distance between them and quietly asks if she wants him to get rid of our hero. Hearing those words, Jaehyun's expression changes and a slow smile spreads across her face. Haho Mask places Abe and sword on the counter in front of the shopkeeper. The moment the shopkeeper sees it, his hands begin to tremble, and his face fills with sadness, because the corrupt comrade was once his close friend and is now gone. He had been anxious for a long time, unable to learn where his friend was or whether he was even alive, and seeing the sword at least gives him a sense of closure. Our hero remains calm and hands the sword over, thinking it would feel strange and even disrespectful to keep the property of someone he had just killed. Just then, a system notification appears, revealing that the sword is a unique level weapon with an extra 77% strength, 66% stamina, 55% intelligence, and 44% mana. The moment our hero sees the stats, he cannot help but stare in awe at how incredible the weapon is. He almost starts drooling over it and silently thanks the poor comrade's soul, feeling like he has hit a massive jackpot. He even imagines that the comrade would be happy to pass on such a blessing, because now our hero will not need to buy another sword for a very long time. With the extra money he now has, his mind races as he thinks about all the things he can finally do in this world. Suddenly, someone calls out his name. Haho Mask turns around and freezes when he sees a huge crowd gathered in front of him. They are not there to talk or negotiate. They rush toward him all at once. Our hero panics slightly and shouts, asking who they are and how they even recognized him when he is not wearing a mask. At that moment his watch starts blinking. It is Anna on the line, telling him that he is basically in serious trouble, because there is a bounty on his head on the dark web worth around 100 million gold. Haho Mask cannot believe that someone would place such a massive bounty on his head, and to him it means only one thing. Jaehyun is targeting him. At the same time, Jaehyun is speaking with Mark, the man who has just offered to kill our hero for her. She asks him why he wants to do it, and Mark explains that our hero is actually a werewolf. He compares the situation to a game of chess, saying our hero is a pawn, but an illegal one. A rule breaker who does not move according to the rules of the game. Mark claims that eliminating Haho Mask is the only proper move. He tells her that several guilds have already joined his plan, and once the Thunder Hunters join as well, they can wipe Haho Mask out together without any trouble. The queen starts to smile, and Mark thinks she is about to agree with him. But in the very next second, she slams him to the ground and steps on him in anger. She recognizes him as the same man who was with the group that stole the boss she was fighting last time. She makes it clear that she hates thieves and robbers, and she does not work with people who steal what belongs to her. Mark realizes that he has made a fatal mistake. He swings his sword at her in desperation, then immediately turns and runs away. One of the queen's clan members tries to chase him, but Jaehyun stops them, knowing it would be pointless just like before. Instead, she orders her members to contact all the guilds and warn them that Haho Mask belongs to her. And if anyone dares to touch even a single hair on his head, they will all die. Meanwhile, Mark keeps running. Speaking to his computer screen as he reports to his boss that the negotiations with the Thunder Hunters have failed, and he even begs to be punished in any way his boss sees fit. Mark asks his supervisor if he should go and eliminate our hero on his own, but the supervisor refuses. He says it would be a mistake to act so openly, because Mark is his secret wildcard. He explains that the trap is already set, and now it is only a matter of time before our hero walks straight into it. Time is on his side. With that thought, he looks at the massive crowd charging toward our hero, confident that this chaos will do the work for him. On the other hand, our hero feels nothing but irritation. Even if he defeats everyone in front of him, more people just keep coming. Anna is completely panicked and explains that of course the crowd is this huge, because anyone who captures him will earn 100 million. Right now, Hee-ho Mask is basically a walking lottery ticket. She asks who he managed to anger so badly to end up in this situation. At first, Hee-ho Mask tries to deny it, but then he remembers all the people he crossed along the way. He realizes he has made more enemies than he thought. Still, there is only one person powerful enough to cause something like this, and that is Chia Si-yeolian, but her personality is fierce and direct, and she would have come to kill himself instead of sending others, which makes the situation even more confusing. Anna, now on the verge of tears, begs him to stay safe and asks what he plans to do. At this rate, they will not even be able to continue the game. She takes responsibility, saying she works for him and even gets paid by him. That is when Hee-ho Mask suddenly gets an idea. He decides to shop and purchases a wavering skull, vowing to uncover who is really behind all of this. With that, he summons a golem from the ground. The crowd freezes for a moment in shock before charging again. Our hero then pours all of his stats into skill play and activates the wavering skull, allowing the golem to change its form. Still, Hee-ho Mask is not exactly happy about it. He had saved that money for good food, and now his balance is completely empty. But thanks to the golem, which has now transformed into a dragon, he finally has a way to escape this nightmare. Before leaving, our hero turns back and taunts the crowd, daring them to catch him if they can. Ahn flies into a beautiful sunset, while the crowd that attacked him just minutes ago gathers below, frustrated and helpless as they watch him escape. Their shouting and insults mean nothing to him. To our hero, they are nothing more than small ants he could crush at any time. Still, killing them would solve nothing, because it would not move him forward in the game. What he truly needs is to find the source of the problem, and the only way to do that is to send a clear message. So he contacts the Thunder Hunters Guild and sends a message directly to the Chia Si-yeolian, Shiro, requesting a private meeting, which is exactly what she has been hoping for. Later that night, Ahn arrives at the butterfly garden. The queen is already waiting for him. She greets him with a mocking smile and asks why he suddenly wants to meet her, especially when he ignored her request for an audience before. Our hero has no interest in playing games. She is one of the people who tormented him relentlessly the day before he regressed, and she was the one who pushed his party members into betraying him. He wants to kill her on the spot, but he knows it would do him no good. He forces himself to calm down and asks if she is the one who placed the bounty on his head. The queen takes offense at the question and flatly denies it. Ahn does not believe her. He accuses her of doing it out of spite, because she could not stand the fact that he left her guild and started taking everything for himself. His anger finally boils over, and he starts shouting at her, asking if she enjoys ruining people every chance she gets. By the time he finishes, his body trembles with rage. Shiro, however, looks amused. She tells him that her answer does not even matter, because he already decided not to believe her. No matter what she said, he would have doubted her anyway. Her words trigger a sharp sense of déjà vu in Ahn, because she said the exact same thing before he regressed. As he looks at her strained and irritated expression, he suddenly remembers that there was an unknown person looking for him, and that is suspicious. He realizes that something feels off, because even in his past life something like this happens. He remembers that something suspicious moves behind closed doors, and after he turns that mysterious onlooker down, he ends up dead. When he snaps out of his thoughts, he sees that Shiro looks annoyed that he would think so poorly of her. Our hero does not give her any more attention, and instead focuses on that unknown ranger who was bold enough to enter the Thunder Hunters. That alone means it is likely those same people who killed him before. He feels like one piece of the puzzle is still missing. He decides to leave, but he is now sure of one thing. The Cheese-yeolian is not, or at least is not fully, the mastermind behind everything. Just as he turns away, she calls out to him and once again offers for him to join her guild. This time our hero snaps back angrily, telling her she is getting on his nerves, because when someone refuses, they should learn to back off. Before he can finish, she cuts in and says that he clearly dislikes her. She admits she does not know why, but she is used to people hating her without reason. Still, she gives him one honest piece of advice. He cannot stand alone against someone willing to place a bounty of 100 million gold on his head. He needs to come under her banner so she can protect him. She promises she will never force him to do anything he does not want to do. That is still not enough for Haeho. He would rather die than join her guild, because the last time he did, he actually died. Jaehyun argues that he should not be so stubborn, but our hero ignores her again. He says he will become the strongest with his own power, and that is a promise he made to himself. The queen falls silent, shocked by his willful thinking. Even Haeho feels confused about why he says it so boldly. In the next moment, the queen smiles and wishes him luck. She says she is one of his strongest contenders, so he should prepare himself, because she plans to give him real competition. Haeho thinks she is insane, because she is declaring war on him with a smile. He tells his golem to fly away as Jaehyun waves him goodbye. Haeho looks back at the beautiful woman and realizes that before his regression, she was once normal too. Something must have happened before that time to turn her into the person she becomes. Whatever it is, he decides he will uncover it after he crushes the people behind the bounty. Suddenly, Anna's panicked voice comes in again and asks what he did, because a wanted poster now spreads everywhere. It states that whoever kills our hero will receive 100 million gold. She asks if he somehow found a sponsor willing to offer that much money. Our hero replies that it is not a sponsor, it is just one crazy woman who is after him. Elsewhere, at Mazandra Castle, a group of hooligans bully a young girl. She trembles in fear, injured, scared and barely able to speak as she begs for her life. They kick her again and again and try to punch her until a silver-haired boy suddenly stops them. He turns to the girl and asks if she is the quest target. The girl replies that her name is Git, and she has no idea what a quest target is. At that moment, Haeho realizes this event has not happened yet. He asks her to come with him for a moment. One of the bullies gets angry at how Haeho speaks to them and charges at him. What he does not realize is that our hero is a master fighter. With a single punch, Haeho takes them all down. Git stares at him, realizing he is far from an ordinary person. Our hero then introduces himself as just a good-natured citizen passing by, even though deep down he knows that he is not a good person at all. Our hero turns toward Git, who now bows deeply in respect, thanking him for helping her and saving her life. She trembles with fear and says she had already given up the quest, and if it were not for him, she would have given it away. She cries openly and keeps apologizing, but Haeho does not care about her emotions. He goes straight to the point and asks if the quest she was almost robbed of is the Ruins Dungeon Exploration quest, where the goal is to clear the Mazandra Ruins Dungeon and receive the Dispel Block Field as a reward. Git says he is absolutely right and starts asking how he knows that, but she does not get to finish her sentence. Our hero cuts her off and tells her to hand it over. At that moment, Git realizes he is no different from the bullies who attacked her earlier. Soon after, they arrive at the ruins, and a system notification appears, confirming dungeon entry. The condition states that if even one party member dies or leaves the dungeon, the quest will be invalidated. When Haeho reads this, he sees this with anger, because now he is stuck with a cowardly fighter. He had believed he would finally clear this quest properly, but this is not what he planned at all. Git starts crying again and begs him to leave her behind so he can go home safely. Our hero finally loses patience and yells at her, asking how long she plans to keep crying and telling her to get control of herself. The world seems to close in as Haeho orders her to use her strength. Git says it is useless and admits she knows she looks pathetic. She says she does not know what she is supposed to do, because things never work out for her. She explains that she is weak, and whenever she goes on raids, she messes up and gets cursed by her party members. Even when she goes into the field alone, she dies every single time. After a while, she gives up on everything and starts drifting around, only taking small village NPC quests to stay safe. During that time, she accidentally meets the hidden quest condition and unlocks the ruins. When she learns that the quest rewards a title, she cries tears of happiness, because for the first time, it feels like the game acknowledges that even someone weak like her can still be a player. She asks Haeho if he really thinks she wants something that powerful stolen from her. She says she only gives up because there is no way she can defeat him. Git keeps crying as our hero finally lets go of her. He tells her she can keep running away her entire life, but no matter what happens, he is going to clear this dungeon. Just as he turns to leave, he suddenly stops and looks back. He tells Git that just because she has lived a weak life until now does not mean it has to be her destiny. He says she can still pull herself together and fight against the odds. Those words sink deep into Git's heart. When she realizes Haho Mask has already walked away, she considers logging out for good, then fear grips her, because if she leaves, she does not know what our hero might do to her for invalidating the dungeon quest. With no other choice, she quietly enters the dungeon. The moment she stands up, she freezes in terror as a giant bug monster appears right in front of her. Before she can control herself, she screams and runs toward Haho Mask. He quickly realizes a swarm of giant bees is charging straight at them. He pushes Git aside, draws his sword, and slashes through the bees one by one. Git cries in panic as our hero fights without hesitation. 1 hour later, both of them sit exhausted on the ground. In the very next second, Haho Mask starts screaming at her, accusing her of messing things up on purpose. Git apologizes over and over again, her voice shaking. Our hero turns away and tells her to stay right where she is and not get in his way, because he plans to solo the boss himself. That is when Git finally realizes they are already inside the boss room. Haho Mask explains that this place is the Giant Ant Den, a dungeon known for being insanely difficult. The small spiderlings here keep respawning and explode the moment they touch someone. The boss, a giant spider, has a shell as hard as metal, which makes it extremely hard to take down. Our hero tells her that all she needs to do is stop panicking and stay still, because as long as he fights without triggering traps, he can handle the boss on his own. Our hero charges straight toward the ant boss and Git cannot believe her eyes. He moves closer and closer without setting off a single trap. With precise strikes, he cuts down the spider's legs one by one and smiles, convinced of his victory. Git stands up and starts cheering, realizing for the first time that they might actually succeed. Then she looks down and her heart drops. She has stepped into a web and triggered a trap. A spiderling crawls up her leg and explodes and she screams in pain. She tries to stand and run, but freezes when she sees more spiderlings crawling all over her body. At that moment, she believes this is the end. Our hero reaches her at the last possible second, slicing through the spiderlings and destroying them one after another. He curses his luck for being stuck with someone so useless and openly calls Git worthless. He tells her to stop crying and run straight to the entrance, warning her that if the quest fails because of her, he will kill her himself. As Git stares in shock, the remaining ants swarm our hero and begin exploding one by one around him, while she watches the terrifying scene unfold in front of her. Git runs away from the temple, crying uncontrollably, thinking she is pathetic and weak. She cannot even fight. She has accomplished nothing in her life and has always been the target of bullies who took whatever they wanted. She falls to the ground, overwhelmed by despair, but then suddenly she remembers our hero's words about changing her own destiny. Something inside her snaps. Meanwhile, our hero is cocooned by the ant spiders, but he slashes his way out with his sword. He watches the spiderlings carefully, knowing that if any of them die, the quest would fail, so he has to wait just a moment. He plans to summon his skeletons, but then he notices Git standing near the entrance. She draws the spider's attention, creating a perfect distraction so Haho Mask can take down the boss more easily. Haho Mask tells her to leave or she will die, but Git shakes her head and says she is not going to die. She has always run from danger before, but this time she wants to prove to herself and everyone else that she can be a player in the game. Haho Mask feels a little annoyed that he still has to do the hard work, but he prefers her fighting to her crying. With that, Haho Mask charges at the boss while Git keeps the spiderlings occupied, her whole body trembling. The monsters are still terrifying and she is still weak, but for the first time, her fear feels empowering. She fights back with everything she has. After a long and grueling battle, the system notification shows that they have cleared the Ms. Sandra Ruins dungeon. Git cannot believe it. She cries again, but these are happy tears. Suddenly someone grabs her arm. Our hero turns to see a group of bullies who have stormed into the ruins and captured Git. They threaten to kill her if our hero does not hand over the Dispel Block field title. Git screams for him not to give it away, insisting they work too hard to clear the quest. One of the bullies punches her to silence her and threatens her again, But this new Git has no fear. After fighting the terrifying spider monsters, the bully's fists feel like nothing. He charges to strike her, but our hero interrupts, calmly saying he will only give the title if they can beat him and take it by force. The bully thinks Haeho Mask has lost his mind, but in the next instant, blood splatters across the room. Skeletons appear out of nowhere, eliminating the entire gang. Git stares in shock, realizing that Haeho Mask is the infamous masked player known for summoning skeletons and wielding guild-level combat power alone. The bully cannot believe someone so strong could be in such a lowly place, but our hero shrugs, saying it is none of his concern. He calmly demands everything the bully owns and a blast follows. Soon our hero obtains the War Watch. As Haeho Mask and Git leave the ruins, Git reflects on how naive she was to think Haeho Mask was just a slightly stronger player. She now realizes he is a named player of legendary status. She bows to him once again, thanking him for saving her life. Without him, she would never have cleared the quest, not physically and not mentally. Before leaving, our hero tells her to take the title. She protests, saying she does not deserve it, but he insists on one condition. She must keep playing the game. Git is so touched that she bursts into tears and rushes to him, promising that she will work hard to make him proud. Later on, our hero changes out of the nerdy outfit he used to hide his identity. Once he is back in his normal clothes, he realizes how much more comfortable he feels. Earlier, he wanted to lay low, but in the end, it turned out to be pointless anyway. Still, he did gain something useful from it. That is the player named Questman Git, who specializes in collecting rare quests. Our hero knows she will be useful later, so he decides to invest in her. Even though right now she is still a whiny mess. With the block field finally dispelled, it is time for Haeho Mask to move toward his true goal and begin the second chapter of the main quest, the Cursed Territory. He enters the Riki Town Square, where many warriors are already gathered. They all realize the block field was lifted not long ago, and most of them are already preparing for the next main quest. All the major guilds are present. The second squad of Ares, the elite members of Triple Wing and Hydra, all top 30 are gathered. Suddenly, the attention of the crowd shifts to a man with an overwhelming presence. It is Haeho Mask walking in as if he owns the city. Murmurs spread instantly. People whisper that he must be the one who took down the block field. Haeho Mask smiles and smirks, briefly enjoying the attention like a celebrity. But the praise does not last long. Insults soon follow. Rumors spread that he is backed by a powerful hacker who boosted his level unnaturally. Our hero laughs at the idea, thinking they are just jealous. Then he hears another rumor that he is Chia Si Olian's pet, and that one truly irritates him. As if that were not enough, others start claiming he is dating Chev from the Red Bull Warriors, and that they go around warning people not to mess with our hero because he belongs to them. Haeho Mask starts shaking with anger. These rumors turn him into a joke. Before he realizes it, his anger explodes. He slams the man spreading the rumor, knocking him to the ground and striking him repeatedly. He yells that he belongs to no one and demands to know who started these lies. Suddenly, a calm voice interrupts him and tells him to stop, warning him not to interfere with an important quest. The speaker is an NPC from the Secret Order, Sarabal. Haeho Mask freezes and immediately backs off, realizing this marks the start of the main quest. He regains his composure as the NPC sees that things have settled. Sarabal begins explaining that the Cursed Territory is a land where a corrupted being once conducted experiments in a past era. Because of that, nearby monsters and regions are now cursed, and the curse must be lifted. Our hero realizes he has heard this before, back in his previous life. To study the curse, the next task should be to capture a cursed monster, the goat-headed Chimera. Our hero already knows its patterns, spawn points, and weaknesses. He waits for those familiar words, but then the NPC changes the task. Instead, she announces that the target is the Evil Eye. Our hero's eyes widen. This never happened before. The Evil Eye is level 150 and has a passive AoE skill. As the crowd erupts into arguments, the NPC clarifies that they do not need to bring the Evil Eye back alive. Only 4 teams will be given the chance to capture it, and only those 4 teams will qualify for the main quest. With limited slots, tension explodes. The NPC wishes them luck, and within seconds everyone rushes out desperate to secure a spot. Everyone except Heo Mask. He stands still, confused, and deeply shaken. The future has changed. The knowledge he relied on may now be useless. His thoughts spiral, but he slaps his own face to calm down. He forces himself to think clearly. Either the future is changing because of his regression, or his past information was flawed. Both are possible, and he needs to adapt. Meanwhile, Mark arrives at the cursed territory and contacts his supervisor. He reports that the main quest is about to begin. Once it is done, he plans to crush Heo Mask like an ant. The same beginner guild struggles to take down the goat-headed chimera, but their black-haired warrior is clearly terrified. All the mages try to curse the chimera while the boy runs for his life. When the chimera finally falls to the clan's combined effort, the system notification confirms their victory. The lead mage orders everyone back into position for the next monster, but the boy starts crying, begging to go home. He's terrified because these monsters are far more advanced and aggressive than anything he has faced. He sobs uncontrollably, thinking that with top guilds in the battle, they have no chance of even earning a spot in the main quest. The mage forces him to calm down and pay attention to the others fighting. When the boy finally looks up, he sees Heo Mask charging straight at 3 goat-headed chimeras, taking them down with a few swift flicks as if peeling tomatoes. The mage tells the boy to stop crying, reminding him that people are handling it themselves, and that he needs to grow a pair and face reality. And the boy feels a sharp sense of jealousy, because he wishes he could play the game as easily and confidently as our hero does. What he does not know is that Heo Mask carries his own fears. The timer for hunting the goat-headed chimera is running out, and our hero knows he needs to move faster and faster. That pressure pushes him to kill as many chimeras as he can without slowing down. Inside his mind, one question keeps repeating: he cannot understand why the present is different from the future he remembers, or why mysterious people keep coming after him with no clear reason. He cannot even approach the main quest with confidence anymore. As these thoughts pile up, he realizes his body is shaking. His skeleton companion offers him a healing potion, but our hero refuses, because he knows he has to keep pushing forward for now. Other groups have at least 5 members to deal with the chimeras, but our hero is completely alone, and that means he has to give everything he has and move at extreme speed. When the timer finally ends, the NPC approaches him and praises him, clearly impressed by how many chimeras Mark has killed in such a short time. It almost looks as if he wiped out most of the population by himself. The NPC asks for his name so it can be reported to the association. Before Mark can answer, someone suddenly interrupts them. The NPC turns his attention, curious to see who finished second. Heo Mask also turns his attention, unable to believe he finished second. Since the difference between them must be small, he considers that it could be Ares or Clan Hydra, or even one of the smaller guilds he saw earlier. Then a familiar voice reaches him and Mark steps forward, standing right in front of him. Before Mark can finish speaking, Heo Mask attacks, demanding to know who he is and why he is interfering in his game. Mark calmly replies that he is not the one interrupting anything, and in the same moment, he strikes Heo in the back. The blow sends Heo crashing into a tree. Mark then looks down at him and requests a one-on-one battle. If Mark wins, Heo must give up the main quest.